He is our speaker and he is the founder of Go Micro, which is a company developing mobile phone-based technologies, specializing in phone microscopy for applications in agriculture, medicine, and education. He has completed his PhD in manufacturing engineering from University of Cambridge. Sir, we would like to hear you.
Yeah, so thank you, Ruchika, for the introduction, and a big thank you for Just Agriculture for giving me this opportunity to speak to you all. So I'm not from agriculture, I'm from engineering, and I hope I can bring a fresh perspective to what can be done in agriculture, but by people who are outside agriculture. So let me start with sharing what I think, how things are evolving in agriculture, and generally in the area of assessment. So can all of you all see the screen? Share my screen, see my screen?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah, okay. So look, I've been in the teaching business, and I don't really like to preach. So feel free to ask questions and interrupt me. I want this to be a interactive session and not a lecture, because lectures tend to be really boring. So I want to convince you all that, that we are in the midst of a big change, right? And the change is this. So, in your schools, in your labs, everywhere you have this thing called the microscope, right? This microscope, I want to convince you, is a piece of junk, right? It is designed for the eye, right? But you can see there's a camera on top. So then they fit a camera on top, right? Then, okay, it's not even taking a photograph. Then it's now connected to a computer, and a human being is looking at the computer, right? Now, human beings are also not looking at the computer. AI is looking at a computer, at images. So this is a complete waste of time, right? And we are in the middle of a major transformation that is going to change the face of science and definitely the face of agriculture, because all of us have this thing called the phone, right? This is an awesome piece of device. This has more capacity than the computers that send man to the moon, right? And every farmer has one. And even people who don't have toilets have this, right? So, and it has a camera. And the pixel capability of this camera far exceeds most of the old microscopes and the cameras and most industrial machines. So we are in a magic moment in history, right? And the changes that this device combined with AI is going to make is going to change the face of agriculture, right? And we are very fortunate to be part of that. So agriculture, like everything else, goes in hype cycles, right? So satellite imagery was the in thing, right? That was what excited everybody. Then after that, now it's drone time, right? Everybody is super excited by drones, right? Now, let me tell you, the next big thing is going to be microscopy time, right? Because microscopes can give you details and assessment that none of these other things can give, right? So you get more valuable data with the microscope than with drones or with satellite imaging. I'm not saying they're not useful, but I'm saying there's a whole layer of information that is going to be super useful and now going to come out from people who have phones, which is everybody, right? Now, the other interesting thing about agriculture is that, it's now, as you know, it's all about data. So you have different layers of data. You have the temperature data, you have the weather data, you have the, what is the soil data, you have plant maps, right? Now, I think one of the other things that is not yet happened is the insect data, right? So this is another layer of information that is missing in agriculture. And I think if you want to make agriculture succeed, you got to combine all these layers together to essentially optimize what you can do in agriculture. Right. So we have developed something very unique here, which is this device, right? This is a clip-on device, it works with any phone. And what this does, it removes the background and shadows. So typically to build the AI engine, you need 1,000, 10,000 images. And even if you have those images, the accuracies are fairly low. I'm sure some of you all may have played around with things like Plantix and so on, and you would know that, if you try it out, the accuracies are not that good, right? The reason that it is not good is because every image has different backgrounds and has shadows, right? So when you remove those, you get extremely high accuracies. And with 50 images, you can build easily. With 50 images, you can with 50 clean images for training, you can build the best AI engine that works. Now, if you go into academia, everybody is publishing at 99.9999, right? That's lab information that's completely useless. And at the tail end of the conclusion, they will often say, but the field results are around 65%, which is completely useless. And we need to do more research to make it useful. Is it ever going to be useful? No, right? Because the imaging conditions in the lab are very different from the imaging conditions in the field. And what we do is that we create lab quality imaging conditions on anybody's phone, right? So you bring the lab to the field. So what this is going to do is it is going to give farmers, right, the abilities that they have never had before, abilities that actually exceed human entomologists and human experts. We are already doing this. So this is a big change that we want to bring to agriculture. So we have developed apps for pest, plant disease, and fruit quality. So we can detect fall armyworm very accurately. We worked with Professor Sharano, who was the first person to detect fall armyworm in India. We built apps for him. We tested it in India. We built apps for testing in Kenya, in Sri Lanka, and so on. So we've now got this thing going. You probably have heard of this company called UPL. They're now using it in Kenya for detecting fall armyworm. So with this technology, you can essentially assess anything you can assess by eye at expert level. When I say expert level, it is the best human assessment. In fact, you can exceed human accuracy. Now, 50 of these devices are being used by an Indian company. We are not supposed to disclose the name of this company. This company is using this to look at an eye of a fish and predict when it was caught to an accuracy beyond 95%. Sea eye is a very expensive fish. If you get it wrong, it gets spoiled, 30% of it is spoiled. So this is beyond what you can do with a naked eye. We are able to grade tea with this. It's for a Singaporean company. And we are able to tell varieties of grain. This was done for the South, based on the samples provided by the South Australian Research Institute. And UPL is now using this for assessing fall armyworm in Kenya. And we have obviously applied for a patent for this technology, right? So this technology is going to give every farmer, this will be $1 when you mass manufacture it, right? The capacity to assess anything that you can assess to the level of a human expert or beyond the level of a human expert, right? So this is how our fall armyworm app works. So you just take a picture and it'll work on any phone and it'll tell you whether it's a fall armyworm or not. So it's extremely easy to use. Anybody with a phone use can use this. Now, the other problem that we are trying to solve with this is food quality, right? So there are lots of problems with food quality, particularly in the import and export trade, because you see, food is not an industrial product. So every fruit is different. They're supposed to be different, right? So the standards that we are using are industrial standards, and they're really, that's good for nuts and screws where everything is same, but they're a disaster when it comes to food, right? And of course, as you know, any purchase process, the buyer calls a shot. So he can say it's not good, it's not good. That's it. It gets thrown, right? And that's sometimes an opportunistic decision. So the farmers pay the price for this. So by essentially using artificial intelligence to assess food quality, you can do a lot of things. You can reduce the food weight, you can give farmers a fair price, and you can improve the agri-value chain, because this is something you can use throughout the food chain, right? Because quality of a fruit didn't suddenly happen, right? It was grown, it was picked, it was, sometimes ripened and put on the thing. So you can assess this throughout the food chain. Amanpreet will talk about this. We can assess grain very, very accurately, and we are at a very exciting phase now with a few Indian companies doing this. So the point here is that we can change. So right now, what's happening is, the buyer does QC at the point of purchase, right? What happens before that is not his problem, right? Now, what we can do is we can assess quality at every point, even before you pick it, right? So for example, the pomegranate industry, if you export certain kind of pomegranates from India to Europe, they won't want to buy it because it's not ripe enough or it's not red enough, right? So you're actually wasting money, and that's being reduced to next to nothing. So with this technology, you can actually tell the farmer when to pick the pomegranate and which to ship and which to not. So the ability to put this in every sector where you remove the subjectivity and increase the accuracy. And of course, you can put this data in a cloud record, which makes it, you can't then argue about it, right? So this is going to have a significant impact on the food chain. And so these are our tests being done in India, Latin America, Africa, Kenya, and in Sri Lanka, and with university students. So we love to work with universities. I ran a session for students in University of Ruhuno. I'm a visiting lecturer, training them in AI. And we'll be soon, I'm looking forward to training Indian students in AI, how to build apps, how to test them, and so on and so forth. So I'm happy to, so I'm looking forward to collaborating with Indian universities to build this skill, because I think everybody, including kids, will soon be able to build AI apps. And these AI apps will be better or as good as any human expert has, depending on the quality of the data. Now, another project that we are working on is farmer QC. Right now, as you know, millions of dollars are being spent on Indian startups, and there are lots of them, and they're improving the logistics, they're improving the transportation, they're improving the cold storage, right? But even if you improve all that, from the farmer to the shop, right, it's 13 hours. You can improve everything, but it's 13 hours. Your fresh produce is a goner, right, by the time it reaches there. So what if we can allow the farmer to do the QC with his phone? Right? So this is a system which essentially will make it possible for farmers to QC their process. So which means a company, a supermarket chain can say, okay, I want tomatoes of this size, this color. Does anybody have it? And okay, you'll see that in the farmer's app, and the farmer will use it and say, okay, this tomato doesn't fit in there, take it out, right? And so on. The second thing that the farmer will be able to do, hey, I've got these tomatoes. Who wants it? Right? They can auction it. So we are in the business of creating an AI layer of agriculture in the world, starting with India. Our main activities are now in India. We are an Australian company. We also have customers in Australia, but I think India is really exciting for us because first, in Australia, the farm sizes are like average is about 4,000 hectares. In India, it's 1.5. And quality is a real problem and a challenge. And Indian farmers don't invest in quality assessment machinery, whereas Australian farmers do. So we see a lot of opportunity for this in India, and we're happy to collaborate and looking for partners to make this available. So this is the big difference. You can see the farm sizes are different between industrial farming and subsistence farming. So our long-term plan is to give this for free so that every farmer has this. And of course, when they detect a pest or plant disease, they're going to buy some remedy, and perhaps we can float some ads and recover our costs that way. But that's long term. That's not our focus right now. But we are keen to work with Indian researchers and universities to build up this capacity. Because what we're going to do, we're going to democratize it so that everybody can build their own app, including kids, right? So we then become a platform that makes these apps available to whoever wants it. So the big advantage for the farmer is that it can reduce the input cost, because if you detect a pest early, right, you can apply less insecticide, right? Same thing is plant disease. You catch them early before they even appear, you reduce the remedial effect. So input cost goes down. Now, if you can QC accurately, then the farmer can sell it for a higher price. So right now we are working with an Indian company, actually an Australian company operating in India called Connect One Plus, and they are exporting cardamom from Kerala. And we are helping them QC cardamom with the phone so that they have a QC certificate that will help the farmers who grow them to maximize what they can get. So this is the benefit for farmers. It reduces the input cost and helps them get market first. So this is taken 3 years ago in Australia with school kids who built their first app. So we've done this before, and this is what we want to do. Thank you very much. Now I'd love to discuss what we are doing and answer your questions. So please feel free to ask.
Thank you, sir. Sir, it was indeed an interesting session, and it's quite different for we students also. And sir, we'll be starting our Q&A session. Sir, there's a question that, sir, presently, if any student wants to collaborate or wants to learn this technology, how can they coordinate with you?
Okay, excellent. So in India, Amanpreet Singh, who is here, is heading our operations in India. So he's the go-to person. Talk to him, we'll help you. I'm an academic. I love teaching people. I love training students. I'm very happy to help. So we are looking for those collaborations through either individually or through sessions or whatever these are in the cards. So please get in touch with Amanpreet Singh, and we will certainly love to work with you.
Sir, actually, looking by the condition of our country, we would like to ask that what is the current status of this technology in our country? And how?
Your country is the first country in the world to use AI for assessing fish quality using our app. Your country is also going to be the first country that Amanpreet will talk about what we are doing that is actually going to use AI for grain assessment. So that is what's happening in your country.
Okay, sir.
Maybe Amanpreet can speak next, and maybe we'll ask some questions after.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir, for your kind words. It was indeed informative session. Now I would request and welcome Mr. Amanpreet Singh, an agripreneur with over 2 decades of learning in agri-tech, agri-SCM, agri-finance, commodity warehousing, and trade facilitation. He's a founder of Grain Analyzer, which is a startup thriving for digitizing grain quality for agri-value chain. He has completed MBA in marketing and have more than 5 years of experience of working in agriculture. Sir, I request you to start the session, please.
Hi, good afternoon, namaskar. Right, it's indeed a pleasure being a part of this forum, right, and wherein we can learn a lot from you guys, and also tell you about what is the current ecosystem, what are the ecosystem requiring, what changes are happening in the entire country. Excuse me for being logged in as one of my colleagues, Ivy, right? Because I have a screen sharing right, so that's an arrangement we've done. As Dr. Shivam has already said, that a lot of changes are being witnessed. Agriculture is going through a lot of through a paradigm shift. we are seeing geographical information system, imaging system entering the eco space, right? Entering farming. Similarly, we are seeing a lot of traction from the government institutions, wherein they are getting into associations, creating room for startups, for technology companies to come in and show them what differences they can create in the current processes of these institutions. A lot of such institutions have shown traction towards quality, which this is what we represent, right? So grain quality, crop quality in spices, seeds is our domain. And the traction is coming from the government institutions like NAHEP, Food Corporation of India, who've shown interest in aligning with our solutions, offering us a chance to showcase the technology in their workspaces, their warehouses, their procurement centers. That has been the driving force. Along with that, a lot of traction has been seen in the warehousing service providers. That's the custodian division, which accommodates, which helps every procurement agency, be it a government or a private agency, helps all processes to buy across the country, store it in various warehousing formats, right? So we've seen traction in warehousing firms, we've seen traction in agtech firms, in fintech. There's a lot of energy because application of knowledge and application of AI provides you a lot of support in data ascertaining, data accumulation, representing the data in the form. And this is done through technologies which become the data carriers. Now, when we talk about this, we are also going to showcase our technology, the Go Micro, right, technology. Now, when we talk about quality, right, quality in grains, we primarily cover three aspects as if you talk about a layman approach. Now, we have a physical parameter, which is the most vital one. Then we have chemical parameters, which is predominantly the molecule value, right? These are the two ways we analyze any grain, any oilseed, any spice, which is bought across the world. So we represent the physical attributes, right, which is run on an AI assessment platform. Now, what is different with Go Micro is that we bring in the expertise of our team into place and offer a technology which is portable. Now, when we talk about portable technologies, there are a lot of technologies which are being talked about. Our vision is to offer technology carriers which work on the ground. That's the principal thing which we agreed on and which we started working on in Go Micro, right? So our tech carriers are fairly built up on fairly easy platforms, right? Our technology carriers are not heavy. They are not electronic driven. They're not mechanical driven. So when I'm referring to this, we are referring to the existing solutions available in the market, which are being used in grains and seeds. You've got flatbed scanners as a principal source of technology when we talk about grain assessing technologies. You've got flatbed scanners being used since last 7-8 years, right? In India, you've got startups which are already offering it. Now they run on electricity. They are somehow they are heavy. They need to be connected to run a machine learning algorithm with a laptop. So it becomes a very different perspective. Now, when we talk about our core segment of the industry, which is procurement and warehousing. Now, warehousing, the regulatory authority in warehousing, the WDRA, right, and few regulations by food safety, FSI. Now, all these regulations do not allow you to run an electronic device within a warehouse or a godown. So that's why you don't have electricity within the warehouse space, the floor where the plinth where the grains are stored. There are reasons for it, right? It is predominantly the risk of catching fire among various grains and various fibers, which is removed. So the regulation controls. So what we've seen that perspective also while offering technologies. So our technologies, my friend, we introduce our technology. Well, our technologies are fairly simple to understand, right? I think I will try and showcase it with a different background, right? So this is the tech we are referring to, right? We have made it fairly simple. We've created something which could retain the ecosystem, right? And we're going to demo demo the tech and make you understand how does it work over the grains. So this is the typical format, which is a tray which can contain grains. Now this also comes from the rudimentary process of grain analysis. Ideally, when you go to a grain or when you go to a procurement center, right, you have such kind of tray which is used for pouring grains into, right? If you've been to a warehouse, you'll understand there are mechanisms, there are spears which can be plunged into a gunny bag, and seeds can be extracted, grains can be extracted, and they can be poured on some tray which is used for analysis. So this is something which the manual analysis also uses. So you'll take a small sample of wheat. So we're going to pour the grains over our device, over the tray. We're going to make it a point that the entire tray is full with grains. So that is how we've built it. There are commercial and marketing advantages to it. I'll also come to that point. Why do we do a bigger sample? What are other competitors doing, right? And we're going to place our device on the tray. I'm going to share the screen to show you how does the app work, right? So you can see our interface. You can see our app working, right? Excuse me, we are using one of the clients, right? This is one of the clients app which we're using. We have this as one of our clients, so excuse me for that. So we're going to click on wheat, and we're going to see the kind of image generation which is happening. I hope you guys can see there is a grain image which our app is extracting, right? So we're just going to click on this button, and we're going to extract an image. So this is the image which is coming out of. Now it's going to process, it's going to upload image and create analytics for you to observe. So it will take a couple of moments. It takes about 40 seconds for you to analyze about 1,100, 1,050 grains, right? We can do a bigger sample, but there are reasons we don't go beyond about a 40-gram sample in wheat as a grain. Now, when we talk about number of grains, right? I told you there's a marketing strategy behind it. Now, ideally, when we walk into a warehouse operations or a procurement operations, that is where the maximum use of this technology is supposed to happen, right? That is where quality is defined, quality is processed, and the results are right. So sorry, you have to. I'll just come to that point again. You can see the app is analyzing about 1,073 grains, and you can see it can categorize grains into normal, broken, beveled, shriveled, twigs, and chaffy. Now, these are the parameters on which the wheat as a grain is bought in India. Predominantly, the parameters are not very different if you talk about physical parameters internationally. But yes, these are the basic ones. These are the ones which are used by commercial organizations like ITC, Grain Milling, Britannia, and by the custodian division of procurement, Food Corporation of India. So you can see you can just witness what is this app able to deliver on. You can see every grain being labeled based on the physical attributes, the physical appearance, right? You have normal grains, right? You have grains which are broken, identified as labeled as B. You have normal grains labeled as N. You have shriveled grains, right? Labeled as S. And you have a couple of other categories like twigs, right? So the derivation of these specifications, when we talk about, have come from one, they've come from the book, they've come from the reference of the Food Corporation of India. Now their buying happens from their buying happens from the farmers. The farmers have to deposit their produce at subyards and yards and mandis, right? So we do harvesting through manual process or through harvesting. There will be attributes like these which are present in the wheat. So that is where the entire derivation comes from. So we've showcased the technology. You can see it also gives you a table for you to understand. It's fairly simple. It has been made out of fairly simple UI for anybody to adapt to it, right? And gradually we are customizing it for the requirements of specific clients. So you can see it can categorize all the grains into different categories. It gives you a certain percentage which is acceptable, which is again an FCI standard, right? So when we say a broken and a shriveled, acceptance is up to 6%, while this sample has about 1%. So it is well within the acceptable limits. We can share this data, while other data, if the customer specific data is required, they need customization, we have a small charge on that, right? And there are a host of grains which we can adapt to, right? We are already doing we're doing wheat, we're doing soybean, we are into maize, we are into a couple of spices. We've already launched our solution in cardamom. When we said spices, then we are already into fish. We are trying to adapt to other fish where AI assessment can be absorbed. And we are fairly priced in a way that there are different solutions available in the market. We have analyzed every solution. We have understood its applicability in the market. We have understood the use case, and then we've derived on the cost. So I think I've taken you through the entire journey of the ecosystem which we are into, and the changes which are coming in, which are being brought in by the regulatory and are being adopted by the private players, the commercial organizations. And I've also showcased a demo of our technology. I would request if we have some questions and some queries which we could respond to.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, there are certain questions which I would like that we both can answer together.
Yeah, sure.
Sir, the question is, how can technology improve farming?
Right. Shivam, would you like to answer it? That's an interesting perspective. Now, yeah, Shivam, are you going to input? You're on mute. We can't hear you.
Yeah, I said I'll give an Australian perspective on this. right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in this country, if you go to farms, right, farmers produce massive amount of food and export it. Each farmer produces for 400 people, a single Australian farm, right, food. So you see that there have been institutions. So Australia and India were part of the whole British colonial program, right? So in Australia, there were research institutes, there were agronomists. Every farmer has an agronomist, right? And there were universities. And if you go to farms, you see a lot of the farmers are agronomists, have been to university, they go back to farming, right? India is a different story. Farming historically had to do with poverty. People escape farming, right? And don't really go back. So there's no knowledge, there's very little knowledge flow inwards, right? So then you have the British Colonial Extension Service, which is largely dysfunctional in Asia. In Africa, it reaches 1.5% of the population, right? So what happens is farmers are then have the same knowledge base that their great grandfathers have. There's a huge knowledge gap, right? Massive knowledge gap. And what do universities do? I'm sorry to say, they publish research, right? So that's their business. It's a different business, nothing to do with farming business. The publishing paper is not farming business, right? It's a different business. So these farmers really don't have help, right? Do not really benefit from the educational institutions. Now, what we are going to be able to do is to bring the best capacity of Indian scientists and Indian agronomists and Indian entomologists, make it available to farmers, right? So when a farmer sees a new pest like the fall armyworm, he's never seen it before. Whom is he going to do? He's going to ask somebody who's selling some insect repellent, who is going to sell something that probably is not very suitable, is probably poisonous, has a maximum margins, right? So that's what happens. So by giving expert knowledge to farmers, right, you can improve agriculture. So that is how technology can help, at least in the area that we are
I think I can add more the way the ecosystem is changing. Now farming is offering a lot of support to the technology is offering a lot of support to the farming. In a way, there is a lot of advisory available, right? Look at organizations like Bihar, like Farmart, like Bijak, right? Startups like these, which are helping farmers to bring in their produce. Look at startups like AgroWave. So where did these organizations, were they a part of this ecosystem 5 years back, or were they a part of the system 6 years back? You've seen all this energy coming into farming, which is definitely going to produce results, right? Investors are definitely understanding the value these startups are going to create in the ecosystem, the way they're going to help farmers, the way they're going to increase the reach, right? So farm advisory, in a way, input and output is something which is really valuable, and it is being driven predominantly on technology. Yeah.
And sir, another question is, how is dairy impacted by use of AI?
How is, come again?
Dairy, so especially kettles in dairy farming.
Excellent. So dairy is, as we understand, right, we are into the similar segment where we look at grains and oilseeds, their residue being served into the dairy as a feed. So that is one perspective wherein a lot of changes are coming, right? A lot of technologies like Go Micro are entering into the segment wherein they can be a part of assessment tools for buying small grains. Now, when we say small and fragmented grains, these are the grains which are being used into the animal feed segment, right? So technology is changing the way the small farmer or the marginal farmer is going to assess, or maybe an FPO or a dairy is going to assess the quality of their grain. Now, this could be a host of technologies which do, they could be a physical, they could be an image building technology, they could be a spectroscopy as a technology, right? Then you have mechanization coming in dairy segment, right? You've got a host of other goodies coming for dairy segment. You got a lot of traction coming in for bridging the gap of the green fodder, right? You understand green forage is in shortage across the globe. There's a scarcity of green fodder. So a lot of organizations which are into seeds and other players are coming up with entrepreneurial advantage for the medium segment farmer. They can get into an enterprise. They can start producing their own silage, right? They can use maize. They can use wheat grass, maize grass to create their own fodder. So that is the industry. I am based out of South Punjab, right, Bhatinda. We have seen a lot of traction coming in the marginal farmers sorry, not the marginal farmers, I'm sorry. In the medium segment farmers who own about 5 to 10 acres, there's a lot of energy coming in to have their own fodder arrangements. So they're getting into silage arrangements, and organizations like Corteva, Bayer, Syngenta, Lima Grains are all helping them to create such solutions, to create a market space for excess production of silage, and to also tell them about the input which they need for creation of the best products for their cattle. So that is the way the entire dairy, unorganized and organized farmers training.
And sir, how best can farmers use information technology to improve productivity?
Shivam, you want to answer?
Yeah. So look, I think when you ask about AI, we are doing a very small sector of AI, right? But end of the day, I have a particular perspective on AI and its potential, which is beyond what we are doing, right? So what is happening now is that a whole lot of people in the IT industry, as you know, have jumped into agriculture, right? If you look at the Indian startup scene, is full of IT graduates, right? Who are able to manage data, who are able to understand satellite data, and so on and so forth. End of the day, farming is a business. If you talk to farmers here, it's a business. There's input costs, there's output costs, and there's market prices, right? And I think the big promise of technology is that technology can improve profitability by understanding all the issues around farming. But this is technology is now has been in the historic past available to big companies and available to people who understand how to use it, right? Now this is changing in India. There are so many startups that are providing valuable services to farmers, moisture content, mineral analysis. So this is changing, right? So technology is already reaching smallholder farmers in India through various amazing startups. I think there are a couple of hundred startups that are bringing technology into smallholder farming, right? But I believe you can bring knowledge into smallholder farming, right? Which is different from services, right? So say Indian farmer misses university education, right? Now you would think that it is important to send him to university. I don't think so, right? I think you can educate farmers to do what they're doing with all kinds of facilities by helping them build their own understanding, by giving them diagnostic tools, by getting them to understand the whole opportunity there in education that essentially gives them understanding to knowledge and gives them the tools to build their own knowledge. So I think that would be the best way to introduce technology. In a way, they own it, they control it, rather than as a service. We provide a service, somebody else provides a service, but there's also an opportunity to put it all together. I hope I have answered that question.
Yes, sir. So we have discussed about many advantages of using AI. So, sir, what are the major disadvantages of using this technology in farming and production?
Okay. Very, 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 very good question. Now, when you say disadvantage, you have to be very careful how you word it. Disadvantage to whom? Right? So I'll give you a very good example. Now, we are well on our way to put this capacity to do quality control in the hands of everybody, right? In the past, a farmer takes his stuff to the mandi and they say, oh, this is bad quality, right? We are going to reduce the price. That's not good, right? Now, if the farmer brings this device and say, look, I've checked the quality and this is what it is, it's a great disadvantage to the people who is buying because they can't bring the quality down. So it's a disadvantage. To the buyer, it's an advantage to the farmer, right? If the farmer says, look, I have found this pest, right? And what is the remedy? Then somebody who is selling him junk chemical can't say, no, this will do because this is what you're going to face. Say, no, 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 no. This is what I have found. You know, your chemical does not address this, right? So there are, every advantage has a disadvantage. So it's like asking, what is the advantage of a knife or a disadvantage of a knife, right? So the knife in the hand of a surgeon can save lives. The knife in the hand of a murderer can take lives, right? So technology is a tool. It's how you use it that matters.
Sir, apart from its benefits, what do you think there are the reasons why farmers are hesitating to adopt new technologies?
Okay, first, farmers are not stupid, right? Farmers are, in my experience, very intelligent people, right? But they're also very suspicious for good reason of people who sell them stuff, right? So that is one thing. So secondly, if a whole bunch of university students who have studied IT create solutions for farmers without understanding their needs, then it doesn't really work for them, right? End of the day, for farmers to adapt, they have to see the benefit. They have to see their community of other farmers getting that benefit. So adaptation will be slow. You can't just throw some technology at a farmer and say, use it. And that is what we are struggling with. It's not easy. It's a hard problem. But end of the day, you have to win their trust because agriculture is about trust, right? Now, remember, all this is funded by venture capital, right? Most of the startups, which is about profit maximization, right? So sometimes the goals are misaligned, right? So it also depends what does the startup want to achieve, whom are they serving, right? You can serve the market or you can serve the farm. We are serving the farm. We have no doubts. We want in our business the best interest of the producer. We serve them, simple. We are on their side, not the side of the buyer, but we provide tools for the buyers, right? So you have to also decide which side are you, right? So you can ask that question to every Indian startup and you can make a decision what side they are in. We know what side we are on. Because for us, they are the creators of wealth. We help them, they'll share the wealth with us. That's a long-term plan. But we also realize that we can't, from a business point of view, we can't go straight to the farmer because it's very expensive. We need hundreds of people in India that we don't have. So we're entering the market on the purchase side, right? But we know whom, we are very clear on who the benefit should be for as a company.
Sir, what is the relationship between technology and agriculture?
I think you're asking me exam questions so you can prepare for exams. Am I correct? I mean, we have spoken about technology, what we're doing, all the exciting things that we're doing, and why are you asking me exam questions? Right? We are not here to, we are here to share the excitement of what we are doing. So why don't you ask some interesting questions about what we presented, please? If that's okay.
Yes, sir. So this is the end of the question and answer session. And we are highly obliged with the presence of you both. And it was an interesting session and a very knowledgeable and one of a kind session. So we'll be looking forward to collaborate with you again.
Excellent. So look, we really want to build AI capability in India. We got started. We think we're going to be able to make a big impact in Indian agriculture. So feel free to contact me. I've given my email and I'm Preet Singh, and we are planning on a big road trip in India and also working with Indian universities to teach Indian agriculture students about AI and to work with them as well.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Right. Are we done with the session?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Thanks to all the participants.
Thank you.
Thanks to
Namaskar.
Just Agriculture. It was great having your word. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Namaskar.
Sir, have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah.
And in the next section, we will be having from 4 to 5 p.m. So I'll be handing over to the next person in charge. And stay connected for the next interesting session. Thank you.
Of 40 years of career, you have served at various positions of repute so far. You have to your credit membership of so many scientific societies at national and international level. You have published more than 35 research papers, 3 books, 60 popular articles, and presented so many papers in various seminars and symposia. Sir, the list of achievements and accolades that you have received is a long one, but I would like to mention that you received Dr. P.D. Mistry Gold Medal Award for the best thesis, best PhD thesis by the Association of Agrometeorologists. You are also a recipient of the Best Citizen of India Award 2014 by Best Citizen Publishing House, New Delhi. And as I just said, the list is quite a long one. So we are very, very delighted to have you here. And I welcome you on the behalf of all of us to this program. And I'm quite sure that this lecture from you is going to be very, very wonderful. Now, sir, moving on with the program, I would request you to hold the podium and address us all. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Rishi. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you very much for introducing. And we will start our talk. Actually, I'm very much thankful to organizer for providing this platform to interact with the youngsters and faculties all over the globe, because I know the number is quite impressive. So I was just a part of earlier lecture when it was attending session. So participants, they are very crucially listening all the things what the speaker was deliberating. So, and this platform you have provided for us, really it is a great opportunity to just have a explore our experience in the field of agrometeorology. This application of agriculture meteorology in the digital agriculture, as you know, so we have the various disciplines in agriculture sector, and among that we have our prominent discipline, that is the agriculture meteorology. And since the importance of this department, as you know, the importance of this discipline is a very high level, because nowadays we are experiencing the different types of the climatic conditions. Every time we have the different type of this our monsoon activity. So all the whatever say farming community and all the people, they have the experience, particularly with respect to the weather, climatic condition, within the country, out of the country, or even the within the state. So we have the different climatic conditions. Particularly looking towards the discipline of agriculture meteorology in digital agriculture, I will say this is a very great opportunity to serve the nation using the digital platform as one of the this agriculture meteorology department. It has a very crucial role. Why I am just elaborating, because it is we need to understand the background of the agrometeorology. So this agrometeorology has a very smart tools in deciding the what kind of the weather and climate they are impacting on the agriculture sector. And over the period of time, after the independence, we know we have the green revolution, after the green revolution, white revolution, and looking towards the Western country and the European country, how they have just managed, and how they are going towards the precision agriculture using the this agromet department, and they have achieving a lot in the field of agriculture, not only in agriculture. Just to take example of our neighboring country, Israel, the rainfall pattern wise, we can say that they are very precisely using the a single drop of water for to enhancing the agriculture productivity. And in international market, how they are standing in production of horticulture crops, vegetable crops. Still, they are utilizing all the information related to weather, how to manage the climatic risk in agriculture sector. So they have very far away and far ahead than us right now. Similarly, case of the China, USA, and other European countries, they are very far ahead in this technology and use of this technology in the agriculture production. We can say that in recently what happens in agrometeorology department, we have the various tools. Earlier, this department was known that this department is recording the traditional way, the temperature, humidity, rainfall, then the evaporation, and other parameters, wind speed, wind direction. But you can just imagine if these parameters we are getting at through a minute or within an hour interval. So we will get the database of all weather parameters at the interval of 1 hour, 15 minutes, 30 minutes through automatic weather stations. This automatic weather station, it has a very crucial role in agriculture sector. Country like India, in tropical country, we can say our economy, this agriculture-based economy, and more than 68% farm people are dependent on agriculture sector. And we are always, every year, we are listening that farmers are agitation towards the government sector to get the compensation due to the bad weather situations, due to the drought-like condition, or due to the wet spell drought condition. So to monitor these systems, we need a systematic tools. And that systematic tools, we have the real-time monitoring system by satellite meteorology, agrometeorology. We have developed various indices, and that indices are useful to know the farming community. Different type of the indices are useful for the insurance companies. I have given the example of AWS, automatic weather stations. These automatic weather stations, they have very crucial role. As we know, the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana and other this agencies, private agencies, they are just paying the money to the farmer if they will get a satisfied data bank from this AWS companies. See, farmers are paying every time their money to get the remuneration after the if any adverse condition is happening. And this automatic weather stations, they have potential. They will give the real-time data, and at micro level, what we are doing, we are analyzing various indices as per the drought manual provided by the government of India, and we are just getting the which sector is affected heavily due to the drought or other other type of the climate during the entire growing season. As we know, this drought has the profound effect in semi-arid tracts of the India, and the semi-arid tract is the maximum tract in the India. When we start from the our Haryana, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, part of Maharashtra, Telangana, Karnataka, and likewise Tamil Nadu, some part of the Kerala also. So we have a very big tract of semi-arid agroclimatic condition, and here the most of the agriculture practices are influenced by the rainfall activity. So here we need to address our climatic condition using the sophisticated instrumentations available for the this insurance companies. And most of the companies, they are very much interested to just have install the lot of automatic weather stations. While talking toward the Maharashtra, we have more than 2,200 AWS within the state across the circle level, and that AWS government agency, it is and private company, it is having P50 mode. So same data is used for this insurance company to give the payment of the farmers on that basis. On that data only, we are computing the different indices, and that was given in the drought manual. So what is the importance of this automatic weather? It is a simple instrument. We are just by recognizing it measures only wind speed, temperature, rainfall. But see, in agriculture sector, these parameters are only responsible for the crop development, growth, and yield. So that's why this AWS is very much important. And nowadays, across the other states in the country like Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh, they have plenty of automatic weather stations within the state, and same data can be utilized by these various insurance companies to give the compensation. And this compensation, they have some fixed practices. So how to give the compensation? We need a policy, and that policy was decided by this agrometeorologists. We have developed the indices for the crop. At various growth stages, we have developed the indices, and using these indices, we can give the compensation. Suppose I will give the example just for the orchard crops. We have the banana, citrus, and other orchard. So likewise, when the crop was this orchard was exposing for the higher temperature more than 45 degrees Celsius. Just to take an example of banana for 5 days, 6 days. So that area will come under the particularly the farmers will get the compensation. For to monitoring this, we need the precise instrumentation, and this precise instrumentation is available with the AWS automatic weather station. So this was the just background of the instrumentation part. Now this agriculture meteorology is the interdisciplinary science. Actually, we don't depend on the only weather conditions or climate conditions. Those agrometeorologists who are working, they should know they should have the knowledge about the allied disciplines like other disciplines, agronomy, soil science, physiology, horticulture, plant protection, entomology, and pathology. Then only the agrometeorologist will become the successful. Otherwise, what will happen? Only taking the data, we cannot justify or we cannot significantly come with the output. So we need to understand what are the changes are happening within the crop and how they are influencing. Secondly, this agrometeorology requires the other department, and they are very much helpful in the taking the observation, understanding, and prediction of weather. As we know, observations, we need to be very precise with the observations because we have to take our observations throughout year, 365 days without fail, and the timings are fixed. So once we are failing to monitor the observations, means we are not able to get a quality data. So observations wise, our observations are fixed as per the local mean time. And second part is the how to understand the data. So data, what indicates? Suppose the bright sunshine hours, wind speed, relative humidity, what the data is indicating in particular respect to the agriculture sector. So understanding is much more important. So that understanding comes from the agrometeorologist by the having the experience in the research. So they will understand how to understand and how to interpret the data. And third part is the most important is the prediction of the weather. As I told that the weather prediction forecasting is the most important aspect in our country. And for that, only the India Meteorological Department is the solo body who is predicting the weather very accurately. And this is a more than 100 years old science in our country, and they are catering their services across the nation, and they are helping to the other nations also. So I think they have very good creditability among the public sector. They are not only giving the forecast for the agriculture sector, they have this forecast sector is working in aviation, shipping, fisheries, tourism, defense, industrial projects, and the water management, as well as the disaster mitigation. So these are some sectors where this weather forecasting are precisely working, and day by day we are very close to the accuracy. Taking the examples of last 4.5 years in semi-arid ecosystems of Marathwada, we are getting a very good kind of forecast. So now the trust between the farming community as well as even the other sectors of the societies, they have a very good trust with our IMD forecast, and they are now very much used to, and they are planning their agriculture practices using this forecast. And this advanced technologies recently developed using the supercomputers, having the make the job very tremendously easy for the India Meteorological Department and the scientists, and they are doing a very good job by giving the accurate forecast. Then this next component is the how this agriculture meteorology Yes, please.
Sir, sorry to interrupt, but can you please put this on slideshow mode?
Oh, it was difficult to get a sub. Yeah, I will try. Now it is visible in slideshow mode.
Yes, sir.
I will move it. Now it is visible. I have just changed the previous slide.
Okay, sir, continue then. No problem.
Okay, okay.
Sorry.
One by one, we will go with slideshow. No problem. Huh?
Yes.
So this is the some this coordination between the agriculture and other sectors, livestock, then the fishery, forestry, and the crops. These are the sectors where this agrometeorologist stands. This is the contribution of the agriculture meteorology as agrometeorologists, how they are contributing in the field. So in the recent years, we have developed some crop simulation models. So they have very good opportunity to identify within the crops which crop is suitable for which region, how the yield variability is there, for analyzing the yield gap analysis, how to bridge the yield gap also. So without conducting the actual experiment on the agricultural land. So we are used to know by having some genetic coefficients with us, and we can use the DSAT model. DSAT is a very potential model. Apart from that, APSIM model. So various models, they are working for the knowing the or to analyze the which type of crop is suitable for which area. So we will get a very quick decision. Similarly, even in between season also, suppose we use this DSAT models and we can take as the input this our forecast data, and we will come with the output. So we will get the scenario, how this forecast, how this extended forecast of 5 days or even the period of 10 days is just giving the outlook for the crop, whether it is helpful or creating any deviation from its growth. So we can monitor and we can alter by making the such advisories, and we can suggest to the farmer. So this is a very potential tool. Then again, the use of this integrated approach of satellite data in the crop simulation model. So we have done this type of job in our research work. So real-time data, it is of profound importance apart from the forecast, because we are getting the real-time data from the satellite. Various satellites are available, and we have the polar and geostationary satellites, and with finer resolutions, we can use the LSP, land surface temperature data. Secondly, we can use the NDVI data. We can use the soil moisture. We can use the potential evapotranspiration, and we will come out with some sort of the projections that how our crop will be sustained during the coming days, and how currently real time. So it will be give the precision how to manage, or especially we will get the outlook which area is having the any deficiency in terms of abiotic or biotic stress, or which area is showing the lot of soil moisture deficient, or which area is having the very vigorous or profound growth due to the availability of soil moisture and good rainfall. So easily within the district, we have a different opinion, and we can identify inter-district variability using the spatial data, that is satellite data. That is the beauty of this data, and that was achieved, and we have done in the past also for some states in the country by using the micrometeorological work using the satellite data, Modi satellite data, having a Terra and Aqua satellite, and we have monitored how the evapotranspiration varies within this district. The yields are variable, and what are the responsible parameters to vary this yield component. Again, we have the advanced geological technologies, weather forecast, AI-based and machine learning tools to support the and analyze the precise drought, salinity, fertility, mapping, and forecast, etc. So these are new additional tools, this AI and ML techniques. So we need the sophisticated input data, because without this having the large or big data, we will not move towards the advanced technology of AI and ML. So we need a long-term historical data bank, and we are maintaining that historical data bank to come with the sort of solution, real-time solution to use this AI-based artificial intelligence and machine learning. And I'm happy that our NAHEP center here in Parbhani, we are just approaching our new trust area of research in AI and ML learning in various crops. And as the agrometeorologists, we are contributing in this area also. Then we have this our other programs, software tools to derive and farm scale process based agrometric indices, like using the high spectral images, because I told that this we need the accurate precision information from the field while we are dealing with the farmer's field. So we need to know what are the crops grown in that area. We need to understand the this crop classification, and this crop classification is require the very good knowledge, field knowledge, as well as the spectral knowledge. And that knowledge, using this knowledge, we are able to classify the crops. If crops are mixed crops, solo crops are there, there is no problem. Punjab like state or UP like state, during the season they have the solo crop. In the Kharif, they have the rice followed by wheat. But in the Maharashtra, when we will come in the part of Marathwada, Vidarbha, we have the mixed cropping system like cotton, pigeon pea, soybean. So cotton and pigeon pea, soybean, we need to identify and we need to know the spectral signatures when we are able to differentiate or segregate the crops from the satellite based images, and we will come to the any conclusion at the final level. So it is a very time consuming. So that's why this AI and ML based techniques will get a real time picture. But anyhow, we have developed some algorithms will come with the accuracy. Then the development and application of remote sensing and weather based time series tools to predict crop phenology and as well as the our pest and disease outbreaks. This is a very good tool actually. So we have this information while crop is on the progress. When crop was sown, after the progress, we need the information, precise information. What is the actual phenological condition of this that particular crop, especially. So then only we are able to know the what kind of pest will be incident on that crop and what are the requirements of the crop. Suppose I will take an example, soybean crop or cotton crop. So we have sown the crop because we don't have the similar date of sowing within a district. As per the onset of monsoon and the progress of monsoon, the farmers are able to sow the crop in the within the district. The sowing dates are variable. So while preparing the agromet advisory, we need this crucial information of the phenology of the crop as well as the date of sowing. Once we know the phenology, we are able to use the some recommendations, technologies available with us, and we can recommend either we will go with the fertilizer management, irrigation management by looking towards the forecast. If there is a lack of irrigation, there is a crop is in the flowering phase and there is a chance of no rainfall for next few days, say 1 week or 10 days. So then we have to come with the irrigation practices. So likewise, this is helpful to the farmers. And secondly, this biotic stress have the tremendous impact because once we are able to know the real time incidence of the pest and diseases and we will give the accurate control measure, then we are able to succeed. Otherwise, once this peak incidences happen and then we are making our controls, it will not do a very good return. So we will have a more input cost and we will reduce our yield economically. So that's why these two peak periods, that is the what is the phenology, crop phenology, and secondly the this pest and this is outbreak. Then secondly, the development of decision support system like softwares in agrometeorology for smart farming, a variable application and input for the digital agriculture. We have some apps also at the end I will show. So we need to have a decision support systems also to know and to answer the farmers using the real-time monitoring system. Then recently we have these drones. Then we have the airborne sensors, either optical sensors or microwave sensors for precise crop monitoring, like the various stresses, either abiotic or biotic stresses, and monitor. Using this, earlier what happens before the drone era, we had only the satellite was the medium to get the spatial output to monitor crop health using the NDVI and other indices and to monitor the biotic stresses. But the drone has given a very good chance, opportunity to monitor spatially at a very low elevation. And this is in R&D mode because we need to develop the different algorithms. We don't have the as such available algorithms. We need to assess our algorithms as per our climatic conditions. And once we will achieve this kind of algorithms and we will come with the monitoring system, definitely this tool will give a big role to monitor the our crops in abiotic and biotic stress. Apart from the use of the drones for the application of pesticides in precision manner, so that is another application part. But I will go with these two components because this pest and this is a detection as well as the biotic abiotic stress detection means we have to identify these two crucial stresses. Then definitely we will have the minimum yield gaps. Secondly, these advanced satellite sensors, they like SAR, LIDAR, GNSS, they have also very good finer resolution data, and we are used to know the soil moisture and the crop growth monitoring system. Actually, this recently we have the tie-up with the Space Application Center in Ahmedabad, and we have some spectral satellite products also in our agromet advisory. So they are providing this NDVI, soil moisture, PET products, and we are preparing our agromet advisory. So that will come in the latter. But the beauty of these products are they are real time, having the 2 days lag period. So we are getting the information. Today is the 20th. So we are getting the real time information up to 18th May. Means only 2 days lag period have the information. We especially know in our locality within the district having the 9 different blocks. So what are the potential evaporation? What will be the soil moisture? What is the NDVI status of the crop? So we can prepare the advisory as per this special condition. We have the point data. So now we are very enriched with this satellite data. We are getting the soil moisture status, whether we have to irrigate or not. We can inform the farmer of that particular block, and even we are knowing the health status of the crop. Next is the application of this agro-hydrological models and software for precise agriculture water management. In a semi-arid, definitely water is a very precise, and we have to use the every single drop of water to manage our agriculture system. If we are known to manage the water smartly, then we can utilize same water for the rest of the season. So we have different several models are available, but how to use these models? Again, we need the weather data. So that's why this agromet data is very much crucial to fine tune our model, existing models at a regional level. Use the different models are available. They are very succeed at different locations on the globe, either in the semi-arid or arid tracks. So we can take help of these models and we can smartly manage our water management system in agriculture sector. Then the impact and adaptation of agrometeorological services that are precise for the precision farming on the livelihood of the farmer. As I told that this issue was we are addressing through our agromet advisory, and now this agromet advisory followers are a bulk number of farmers. They are getting the messages regularly twice in a week through this agromet advisory services. This another sector is very much allied sector, that animal sector, apart from our agriculture, because this is the allied sector. This animal sector, it also need to be addressed using this agrometeorological information. As we are addressing all these agriculture sectors regarding the plant cycle, growth, development, and yield. Similarly, we are addressing the frost prediction and protection of crop plants. Particularly, this frost production is required, very much information required in the northern part of the country during the winter season, because this frost prediction having the very heavy losses in the standing crop. So once we know, we have to alter the microclimate so we can achieve the modifications in microclimate. Definitely, we will sustain our crop and we will lose our economic yield. Next one is the warning against the forest fires and cyclonic storms, dust storms, etc. Yes, this is a very important aspect again, because the forest fires are the common. Now the temperatures are almost more than 43, 44 degrees Celsius during the summer season, and that temperature is having the sufficient to get a forest fire. So once we know what are the pockets, identify the pockets which are having the more temperature more than 42 degrees Celsius, then we have the mechanism to control this, or we have the mechanism how to control. We have to come with the plan and we can execute that plan in the forest area. Similarly, the cyclonic storms and the dust storm in the coastal area. So we know the recent years history as we go long back into 1999, when there was a super cyclone in the Odisha, because we have the super cyclone in Odisha in 99, and that time the Odisha was completely having the vanished the coastal area, and casualty of animals, human beings and losses, economic losses, that was at a very high level. But after the advance and refinement in the models in the uh, India Meteorological Department, we are very close to identify the cyclones in the coastal areas that's like West Bengal, Odisha, and recent years history. It shows that we have got a sufficient time to evacuate that coastal area, and this casualties was very minimum. I will say there was a very negligible casualties was happened in recent decades due to the advanced approaches of this weather forecasting. And now the existing director of general of this India Meteorological Department, Dr. Mahapatra, he is known as the cyclone man because he has given his R&D services to the IMD. He has given various new models and he has developed tools to identify the cyclones, storms, and dust storms within the country. This dust storm in the last winter we have experienced in the Mumbai, that dust storm was came from the Pakistan, and how it was influencing the activity of the normal for the dust came from the Pakistan. See, it was travel from the Arabian country and came from the Pakistan via to the Mumbai. So the coastal belt was affected and it will create a health hazardous problem to the civil people. So again, we need to very alert and we have got the accurate information from the our forecasting center. Then the also the having the knowledge on the soil and water conservation. Exactly, soil and water conservation information we required. We have the maps and we have prepared how much our soil with respect to the different kind of soil. How can we manage the things? Then again, the planning of irrigation. As you told that this planning of irrigation, we need a very efficient manner. Earlier, we used to do the irrigation using the our traditional approaches. Now, the tremendous change was happened in recent years, last decades and before that, last 2 decades. The farmers' approaches towards the use of the new technologies, either drip or sprinkler irrigation system, to save the water losses and to maintain the soil health. Because excess water will also leach down the nutrient content and it will be hazardous for the soil to have a vacate the nutrient, enrich nutrient. So we need to think on that issue, how planning of irrigations we can do using this all the existing knowledge, when to irrigate and how much to irrigate. Then the controlling of the insect and pest disease, as I told that this pest and disease monitoring system was very much influenced by the weather. The congenial phase is decided by the how the weather, temperature, humidity, and rainfall. So these are deciding the your congenial phase of any pest and disease. Just take example of the fall armyworm in the maize crop. We know that that pest was migrated from the other continent to the our continent, and it was introduced in the first time in the country through Karnataka. And it has that pest has picked up the only two parameters, that is the wind speed and wind direction. Across the wind speed, they travel a lot of distance and they came in the country. And now we can see that. So we have a very good we can see the mechanism to trap this system. Last few years, we are just having the losses, more than 30% of losses only through the this FAW, farm armyworm, and we are getting this FAW information through the just 1 minute. So this farm armyworm is having, earlier we are the exporter of this crop for the particular maize. So now we have the different scenario. You see, one pest can change the scenario of import export. Now we are having a very big issue with this farm armyworm. So similar kind of information we are gathering how to control at a particular stage of the crop and using this MI and AL based technique, artificial learning technique. So we will get the knowledge and we are in R&D mode. So how to develop the mechanism to identify a particular pest at what stage and how to control that pest. If it will have a different stages. 1 minute. Hello, sir. FAW having the tremendous impact on the maize crop. And not only maize crop, it is having the any crop, it will sustain. So we need to identify the FAW at a crucial stage to get the information to the farmers and to control this FAW, farm army and we can again become a exporter in the maize. So this is the crucial information again related to the weather-based system, and we will definitely ensure to the farming community that we will come with a new solution having digital technology, that machine learning and AI-based technology. Then the next one is the pollution and air and water pollution. As we know, the urbanization and industrialization has created the problems. They have given the solutions, but some problems with respect to the pollution. Actually, we need to monitor our system regularly, air pollution and water pollution. The purified rivers, now they are getting impure due to this wastage, industrial wastage. And air pollution, as we know, lot of chemical factories or pharmaceutical companies, they are just having the emission in the atmosphere. We are hurting that some acid rain. So that is the one of example. I will take an example of the our industrial belt in the Gujarat, that near to the Bharuch, and that belt actually that area is particularly known for the very heavily polluted area, and that belt new industrial licensing was permanently stopped 10 12 years back due to the heavy industrial sector, chemical sector. They have the emissions to the atmosphere. Even NASA people, they have studied in that area, and they have one flight, NASA flight with the new cameras, with the Space Application Center ISRO and NASA. We work there. We are identifying how best we can monitor these emissions, various gases deposited in the atmosphere, and they have a special day flight. So we used to monitor ground observations, that is ground truth, on same location, and the flight was capturing the different gases, and you are monitoring from the ground surface. So we have a very good results, and that was in policy making purpose, and it was with the Space Application Center and NASA. So the thing is that we need to monitor the pollutions also, because pollutions not only hazardous to human beings, they are also hazardous to the climate. Now we have the recent this Glasgow Climate Summit in COP 2026. It was decided the developing country, least developing country, developed country, they will come with some sort of the reduction in the emissions, either nitrous oxide, carbon dioxide, or the methane, because this 2030 is the alarming situation. If we will not having the sensation right now, so we will always we will come with the rise in the temperature of 1.5 degrees Celsius at globally. Right now we are experiencing the temperature has been rose 1.2 degrees Celsius. Keep in mind, if it will come again up to 1.5 degrees Celsius, definitely the glaciers will melt. Neighboring countries like Bangladesh and small islands, they will merge, and the rehabilitation problem will be there. So, and just like other countries, we are just imagine Fiji, Philippines, they are the islands, so they will merge down. So no human being will be found in such islands. And agriculture sector, as already several projections has come from the different borders. If 1 degree Celsius, 1.5 degrees Celsius temperature will rise, the food production will be tremendously go down, and that threaten our food security. So we need to be identified with such cultivars in future to sustain with the temperature, rising temperature. Second thing, we need to cut down the emissions, and how best practices we will come with in agriculture sector. So that's why precise monitoring are done with the instrumentations. Then the next one is to minimize the losses caused by the heavy rain, floods, and hailstorm during the seasons. The seasons, every season is coming with a different stories. Last 3 years, particularly Marathwada, we have a very good rainfall pattern at the month of the June, at the starting month. Even in between, we are experiencing a different kind of situation. The monsoon was extended by having a 1 month period, and it was just withdrawal in the month of October. So that was never happened the last 50 years, but it was happening. That is due to the global warming scenario, and we need to identify these heavy spells, because heavy spells, they are leaching the nutrient content from the soil, and this is a very prestigious nutrient which are because once nutrient contents are leaching down, means we are losing all the nutrient soil productive soil, organic carbon. So don't expect from same soil the having the return, good return. That we are getting the very good quantum of rainfall spell, but still we are not achieving the yield. So where is the gap? So these heavy spells, they are giving leaching down our nutrient content, and we need to increase our nutrient content and organic carbon. Then we will minimize the yield gaps. Then the next one is to improve the health of the crop plant by just modifying the microclimate in the field. So timely information is precisely information we can use, and we can modify our microclimate. Definitely, it will help, or we have a chance to alter our existing crop, and we will sustain. Then the yield of the crop increase under modified microclimate condition. It was shown in several researches, and we can do by just modifying the our yield this microclimate within the crop. Then the three interesting things with respect to the agrometeorology, these are the three pillars: productivity, adaptation, mitigation. As I told that the productivity needs the information. We need productivity enhancement. So what are the three things we need to do? This increase in agriculture productivity and income from crops, allied sector like livestock and fish, without having negative impact on the environment. So keep in mind, we have to keep this thing in mind. There is no negative impact while we are practicing new modern technology. Then the this is in turn will raise food and malnutrition security, a key concept related to the raising productivity and system intensification. Then the adaptation, second point, second pillar. This is the reduce the exposure of farmers to short-term risk, while also strengthening their resilience by building their capacity to adopt the and prosper in the face of the shocks and longer-term stresses. Particularly, attention is given to protecting the ecosystem services where the ecosystem provides the farmers and others. These services are essential for the maintaining productive ability of the crop to adopt the climate change. Third important aspect is the mitigation. How to mitigate the greenhouse gases? That is the one of the solution we have to facing, and we need to cut down, and we need to have implement some new policies that by just implementing the just plantation or intercropping. Likewise, how to capture the CO2 within the crop or within soil. We have to develop such technologies. Then this interview, I have given this approach. What we will achieve, we have the interdisciplinary science in agriculture meteorology. Definitely, we will come with the such sort of outcome. The agrometeorologist in the digital agriculture, how he or she will look, how to do, or what is the role. Actually, I have told that planning crop pattern system, by just analyzing the satellite data or the drone data, we can know how to take a crop or crop planning in a particular region and locality. Then the selecting of the sowing dates to just for optimization yield, because we know the climatology of any location that decides or that will give the outlook to when to sow the crop and when to harvest the crop. So that idea or outlook we will get from the analyzing our satellite data, or you can say digital data, or even our climatic data, weather data. Then for effective, cost-effective plowing, harrowing, weeding, and then reducing the losses of applied chemicals and fertilizers. As you told that during the season, we need to take a decision of spraying pesticides and other applications of fertilizer management. So in rain-fed agriculture, these operations are crucially dependent on the onset of this monsoon, this rainfall pattern. Suppose the fertilizer application, we need to apply the fertilizer. So we should know how much soil moisture is there, and if there is a chance of this rainfall, then only we can invest our input. And vice versa, if we want to control any pest and disease, if there is a chance of rainfall or heavy wind, we are avoiding the operations to spray and just incorporate that we have to eliminate that day, and we have to wait for a clear condition. If we are doing the practices, means we are losing our input cost. So we should know these things in advance. So micro level farmers are managing, and how judiciously we are irrigating our crops. So that decision comes. I told that the Space Application Center, ISRO Ahmedabad, Dr. Bimal Bhattacharya, Rahul Bigam, and his team, they are providing the satellite products for our Marathwada region since last year, and we are utilizing these satellite products that NDVI, soil moisture, potential evapotranspiration, then LSP, the maximum and minimum land surface temperature. And we are taking these products especially at block level, that is the tehsil level at district level. And we are preparing the information and we are judiciously giving this, catering this information to the farmers, how to irrigate and when to irrigate. So that will also saving your input cost and don't need to irrigate excess. Then the efficient harvesting of all crops is a very crucial decision. By taking the appropriate forecast, we will know what will the scenario for next week or having a 10 days. As the IMD is providing the forecast for a short, medium range weather forecast, short range weather forecast, long range weather forecast, and nowcast. So in agriculture, we are taking the forecast short, the medium range weather forecast. Similarly, new product that is the extended range weather forecast having the period of validity of 4 weeks, that is the 28 days. But having a very good outlook and confidence level at high for 10 days, we are taking this forecast while preparing our advisory and knowing the location where the crop is the harvesting period, whether the rainfall is there for next 10 days, there is no chance of rainfall. Immediately we are informing that pocket to the farmer. You just go for harvesting and secure your crop and store in the safe place. So that also give a very good impact in the farming community. So that is we have the success stories also, that farmers how they have succeeded to harvest their crop within a space of the continuous rainfall and how they have just saved their crops and reduced their losses. Then the biotic control also, that was also faced, and this is with respect to this weather information. We have some forewarning models, and using this forewarning model, we are incorporating our database, AWS data in various blocks and districts, and we are known to which disease or pest is having the influence in particular area. Similarly, we have the CropSap agency in the state government and our agriculture entomology department working. So we are getting the information from the various villages across the state and within the our Marathwada region, and so we are able to know where to give the forecast for a particular outbreak of pest and disease. Then efficiently we are managing the soil, then the managing weather abnormalities like cyclones, heavy rainfall, floods, drought, etc. And there is a chance of just mitigation of measures such as shelter belts against the cold and heat waves. That is also important, and effective environment protection. Now, before selecting any field, which type of cropping system, we need to identify the how the winds are coming, how the winds are blowing, what are the conditions, climatology of location, so we can construct such shelter belts, and avoiding the minimizing the losses due to forest fires. So new area where this agriculture meteorology stands, I will give some examples with weather for monitoring, agrometeorological forecasting, weather crop relation, crop zonation and crop planning, climatic control, agriculture pest management, the crop growth simulation modeling, drought management. Then using the drone technology, we can manage all the things. Similarly, we can manage through the satellite data also. These are some strengths of the areas where we can having the have to work. There is a need to study drought and their ecological importance in agriculture production. Secondly, the need to compute the water balance index to assess the crop production potential of a given area. This will give a very good picture. This crop water balance will give the water balance will give the good picture. How the water deficient, how the water surplus will helpful, and which type of crops we can cultivate. If existing this climatic situation is not suitable, then which kind of cropping system we can incorporate. This water balance study will give the outlook while deciding our cropping pattern. Then the experiment should be conducted in the different agricultural regions for the sake of high yielding varieties. Similarly, research is needed to developing agroclimatic models and dynamic simulation models for different crops and predicting agriculture production before harvesting of the crops. So these are some areas where I will not go. Climate change and global warming, which is one of the burning topic, we need to address this issue also. Then the I think slides are more going slow. So these are some remote sensing applications in India. I have missed that opportunity to tell you that the first we have done the study, such type of study to identify the ground below ground these diseases, and that was detected in the coconut plant, that wilt diseases, and that was the first attempt we have addressed and using the satellite data. And then thereafter the development was started in the field of remote sensing in India, And you know the whole history. I will not go in detail how this ISRO was working, and this was done in 71. The 77 incidents recently in 2002. How the satellite data have the potential opportunity to implement in the agriculture sector. These are the some examples. I will not go in detail. Then I'm very much sure that this was the one case study. We have very good results as the Space Application Center in Ahmedabad. They are providing this PET, special PET for a Parbani block, and this red one is having the calculated PET for our region, and this PET that shows that this Penman Montes PET having the similar kind of the train. So it is very closer to the satellite PET, and it will give the very good outlook and confidence level high that this such type of satellite products we are utilizing for making the agromet advisory. So we have very good confidence level while making this product in terms of irrigation scheduling. Second product was the NDVI product. You can see that NDVI also very close with the respect to PET. When PETs are high, they are going down, and they have the very typical pattern. So this will give a very good indication and confidence level high. Then the some sorts of the remote sensing, we can say that application in agrometeorology in the terms of soil resource mapping, soil moisture, agroclimatic crop sustainability, irrigation management, history forecasting, climate change studies, even crop phenology, primary productivity, satellite agrometeorology, hyperspectral remote sensing. So these are the studies we have already done in India, and we are far ahead. We are looking for the new kind of the work, and this is a very much interesting work we are just done. That All India Coordinated Research Project on Agrometeorology, they have developed a dynamic crop weather calendar, and using this dynamic crop weather calendar, we are addressing the issue of the irrigation scheduling for a particular block or district. So this is the last season we have utilized. It is in operational mode from last year. So this dynamic crop weather calendar was handed over by our 25 centers who has developed this dynamic crop weather calendar. It was developed under the leadership of PC Ikirpam Krida, Hyderabad, and now it was handed over to the IMD, and it is in use. So it will give the outlook just like I will show the output. What are the dates, rain, crop water requirement, effective rainfall, irrigation requirement. Using, we are incorporating the forecast, real-time forecast, and we are getting at what stage, at what period we can irrigate our crop, whether we irrigate or not. So this is a real-time application period. This application of this dynamic crop weather calendar, and we are just having the such calendars across the country. Secondly, this weather-based agromet advisory for the pests and diseases. As we told that we are just catering the services in the form of agromet advisory to the farmers of our Marathwada region. Similarly, it is happening across the country. So we are identifying the different conditions. We are getting the weather data, past weather data in agromet bulletin. So we are getting the value-added forecast from the India Meteorological Department. We are identifying the crop conditions through our progressive farmers, extension agronomists, KVKs, and other peoples, and we are gathering this information for a particular region and taking the decision by our this subject matter specialist member. So we are preparing our agromet advisory and disseminating by various channels, either our social media, WhatsApp group, SMS, and Akashwani. There are various newspapers they are publishing. So this is the in short observed weather data, how this decision system works in agromet advisory. So I have given the example just how we are getting the this forecast 3 by 3 kilometer using the WRF forest for next 3 days, and this 4 to 10 days for the 12.5 by 12.5 kilometer area. So this is the beauty of this forecast, and really we are happy that the forecast is working very well since for the next 10 days also, and we are preparing the just our advisory, taking the help of these different tools, dynamic crop weather calendar, crop health and soil wetness, using the satellite products. So we are very much in digital era. We are taking the digital platform, and we are identifying our resources, and we are making the very sustainable towards the making our advisory. This ARFS, this extended range weather forecast, I told that we are getting the information for last 4 days, 4 weeks. So we can see that how the weather is for next 4 weeks. But confidence level wise, it is highest up to the first 10 days. So we can incorporate this information, and we will get a succeed from last 2 years. It is operational, and we are very much succeed to address the issue for next 10 days. So this is the beauty of products, and it was developed by the IMD with the IITM Bhubaneswar. This is the another nowcast. We are getting the warning, thunderstorm warning, the heavy rainfall warning. Right now, it is raining outside the Parbali. It is a heavy rainfall spell. Just we have got the information that particular area getting the heavy rainfall warning. So it was happening really, and on the ground we can see that this type of information is valid for next 24 hours, and we are getting the this nowcast forecasting from the IMD, and we are just giving the services to farming community. Then the another is the this crop weather calendar using the long-term database in the research field as well as from the our weather data. What we are achieved, we are preparing this crop weather calendar, and we can molding this information while preparing our agromet advisory. So it has taken care how much the optimum temperature and other weather parameters required at different phenological stages. And if the forecast says, its forecast indicates the our forecast having the above normal parameters, we have the chance to just having the intervene how to modify microclimate, and we can skip that particular stages, and we will achieve the optimum yield. Secondly, this biotic stress also at what phenological stages they will come, and what are the different weather elements required. So likewise, we can go with the this information, and we are preparing at a block level as well as district level. So this is for different crops. You can see just having the example. This is for cotton, pigeon pea, and soybean. So then we are just hurriedly I will go the instrumentation and tool used for digital agriculture. So we have very fortunate that Dr. Gopal Shinde, our PI in the NAHEP project, we have very several good instrumentation. This is the AgriPalm instrumentation. We are monitoring these various parameters, line quantum sensor, net odometer, pyranometer within the crop, and we have this another instrumentation, that is the crop canopy measurement, and we are measuring at control condition and open condition also. So this I was telling that the NAHEP project we have enriched with some advanced instrumentation like Jackal ASCII and other instruments to address the biotic and abiotic stresses in the standing crop, and we are monitoring the crops. Similarly, we have the automatic weather station and other instrumentations to measure the vector signature of the crops at various stages of the crop growth, and we can come with the conclusion. Same scenario here. Then we are just addressing our crop field using the drones also. We are just mapping. We have the control plots, control condition plots. Means we are just making the artificially controlling our plots by covering the some this different kinds of material, and we are coming with the different results. So this was taken by the drone. Then we have this drone photography for the chickpea crop for another season. So this is the actual evapotranspiration we are computing using the lysimeters. We have the Kc values computed using the lysimeter for efficient smart management of the irrigation. Then the AWS, how this AWS is working. So I will not go in detail right now. Then definitely this app was developed, Megdut app. It is under the IMD, but we are the part of development, and now this is working at a country level. Few centers they have the contribution while developing this app, and this app has a beauty that entire state within the country will get the information on the fingertip. So this is a very good informative app, the Megdut. Secondly, we have developed at our own center using our NAHEP project funds and NAHEP team members this Krushi and Hawaman app, similar kind of app, and it is a two-way communication app. So we will get the information from our side to the farmers, and even farmers can interact with us. Lightning each way. Suppose you have to install this app in your mobile, so we'll get the information in which area, which the 2 kilometer area, what is the position of lightning, and this is very much useful for the farmers because it will save you. And the last one is the our own website having the different blogs and this dissemination mechanism, how to outreach to the farming community. So this is a digital area. So we have the blogs also. So we are just sticking to the farming community. Thank you very much for this exclusively sharing this time to me and patiently listening to the my talk. If any queries, just you have the questions from the participants.
Okay. Thank you, sir. The pleasure is all ours. Thank you for sharing your valuable time with us, and spending this, sharing this lecture with us. It was indeed very beautifully explained and elaborated lecture about the weather forecast and climate change and everything. Sir, just some few questions. First of all, I would like to know that, last year we saw that in Gujarat, Taute storm was there, and this year wheat production was affected due to no rains or less rains. And we are seeing that in southern part of India or Karnataka, you are telling in Parbhani, there's so much rain that is in place. So, and this is having an impact on farming farm production, because these kind of things affect crop produce very badly. So what do you think, how far do such the objectives of these agro-meteorological units, which aim to ensure the proper crop production in India, how far their objectives is attained? Because we see that these things are hampering the farming production in the recent years.
It was very good question. It was very elaborate question. I will go that Gujarat, at the west coast of the India, having the cyclonic condition, and that was delayed the monsoon activity in the Gujarat last year. And the second question, due to the wheat yield was reduced. That was due to the rise in the temperature. Actually, wheat is having need a low temperature, and we know the belt in the country, northern part of the country, UP, Haryana, Hisar, those belts having the low temperatures up to the month of the March or before March, February. Extended winter period is there. But to just take a look towards this year data, weather data, we have a maximum temperature maximum during the month of March or early in the February and second week of the February. It was started. So that has created the problem. That's why I am telling that this COP26 has given the tremendous information that we need to be, it is alarming phase. The IPCC already given in the report, last report. So we need to cut down our emission to reduce the rise in the temperature. So we need to address this issue. Food security issue will be there. So we need to address this issue in the public domain, because individually we have to contribute. Then only it is at a national level and globally we can achieve the food security. Third question, this rainfall activity was enhanced in the Marathwada region. It is true. I told that some projections given by IPCC earlier also, they indicate that the regions which got the low rainfall, that will be experiencing the heavy rainfall events. So that is becoming true, but very fastly or very hurriedly, we cannot say that it will happen regularly, because last 3 years it was happened. So see this year what will happen. But globally we can say it is changing. Scenario is completely changing. So we need to be keep in mind that agriculture sector is just having the influence through the climate change, global warming, and we need to sustain these agriculture practices. The role of agrometeorology is very important. Now in future we have to take this information, precise information of agromet advisories, and we have to manage our agriculture sector to keep from the whatever the different kinds of the either dry spell or the wet spell, how to skip the thing. So we need to come with the solution with the agromet advisory.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your answer. As the next question, I would like to ask you very quickly is that why do you think farmers are, in the times of climate change and everything, why do you think, like we see that, IMD has released an app called Make Doodh, and we see the utilization pattern of that app is not that good as expected. So why do you think the farmers are not accepting the digital changes related to agrometeorology, whether it is sowing apps or weather forecast apps, and why is it happening?
So ground level, what we are experiencing, that farmers are even we are also very much used to the youngster. They are very much useful for this Android mobiles. So we need to just think on the what content is there, because everybody needs the ready-made solution. We need to understand that gap should be minimized. Just we need to make aware that how to read this app, because in app everything is there, but that app will give a solution for you, for your region, for your particular location point, or we can say we need to understand the languages. That languages farmers, what farmers they, somebody has tell, okay, this time you need to spray this kind of or this quantity of pesticides, will get a higher yield. So they are just realizing on the that news only. So they don't just understanding the what is happening inside the app. We need to understand the what information is there. Otherwise, other section is there. We need to highlight the information in other format through app or through WhatsApp messages. So we need to understand the content also. That is most important. That is lacking at ground level. What is happening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, the next I would like to know is the next question from audience is what is the cost of the automatic weather station?
Yeah, that is very good question. The cost of automatic weather station depends upon the what type of the sensors we are installing our this automatic weather station. Suppose temperature, humidity, wind speed, wind direction, rain gauge, and photosynthetic liquid radiation, soil moisture, and PAR. This was sensor. We have the different kind of the price. Suppose I will post the value here, so this our vendors will get agree. So the sir has given the value because it also changes nowadays due to this war. The sensors are coming. Most of the sensors are coming USA. Earlier it was coming from China, but I especially recommend the sensors. Campbell sensors are very effective. At least they will work for next 5 or 7 years. And we can have a very good vendors licensing with some companies. We will have a very low cost sensors also. In Maharashtra also the Sahyadri group, they have the very low cost sensors. You can contact them. And
Yes.
Campbell sensors are very much useful to monitor your agriculture information within the using this AWS. So it is almost 1.5 lakh, 2 lakhs varies.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I think enough questions have been answered, and now the time is also running fast. So, at last, I would like to thank you for being with us and sharing such an informative lecture and answering the queries of audience. And we are we are really thankful to you, sir. And we hope in future that we get to meet in such type of programs over and over again in future also.
I'm very happy that I'm here to represent my organization through this platform, and really, I'm behalf of my organization as well as NAHEP and my bottom of heart. I will thank to you and your organization for providing this such beautiful opportunity to interact with you people, youngsters. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Pleasure is all ours, sir. Thank you, sir. So this was Dr. K.K. Jakhor, and he shared a very beautiful lecture with us. Now, moving on with the program, our next guest has also arrived. And in the series of these lectures, we are now joined by another very cogent and diligent personality. Please welcome Dr. R.P. Kadam, who is an associate professor in the Department of Extension Education in Basant Rao Marathwada Agriculture University, Parvani, with more than 14 years of experience in teaching, research, and extension. Sir, you have also served as nodal officer for NAHEP, ICAR, and on your name, you have published more than 80 research papers, 102 abstracts, 9 books, and so many other publications. Even in VMKV, you are very active in conducting various activities. Talking about your achievements and accolades that you have received, the list includes Indira Gandhi Sadbhavna Award 2014, Young Scientist Award 2015, and Excellence in Teaching Award, and many other awards that you have received. Sir, you have worked as principal investigator of so many projects in the past, and even in present, you are the nodal officer and co-principal investigator of a collaborative project between the World Bank and Government of India, which is entitled as a Center of Excellence for Digital Farming Solutions for Enhancing Productivity by Robots, Drones, and AGV. All these activities reflect your energetic persona and a very active personality. And we are very much pleased and fortunate to have you here with us today, sir. Now, without taking much of your time, I request you to be on the podium and address us all. Welcome, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, Rishi, for a nice introduction. Whether I am audible?
Yes, sir. Definitely. Pleasure, sir. Yes.
My screen is visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Very good afternoon to all, one and all. And it's my pleasure to be with you for presenting the digital extension for agricultural development. As you know that since last 20 days, you are organizing very nicely online training program. And I saw so many participants, they are across the country as well as across the abroad. Also, they are participated. It's nice and your selected topics also very good, and all the participants very interestingly attending all the lectures, and they are also reacting with the other people's means. It's a very nice interaction. So today I'm sharing the knowledge with you regarding the digital extension for the agricultural development. As you know that the particularly I'm talking about the present extension system and reasons for the information delay in rural areas, digital communication technologies, role of digital media in agricultural development, and what is the need of the digital media, key success, how the digital media is successful, what are the SWOT analysis of the DCTs, and what are the barriers in digital medias and different social medias tools, and particularly focusing on the e-extension initiatives, because our topic is what are the e-extension initiatives undertaken by our government or the other NGOs, and lastly conclude my topic. So I took more than 40 to 45 minutes, and afterwards we will discussing on whatever the queries of the participants are there. So today we will start with the information and communication technology. As you know that this is the word of the communication technology. Earlier it is a IT word, information technology word. Now we are adding the word communication technology, that is ICT, information, communication, and technologies. In the most of the countries, there is a significant role in the socio-economic development of the farming community through the facilitating the agricultural extension and development in the agricultural. So for that, we are using the ICT tools for the development of the agricultural technologies concerned. So agricultural extension assist the farmers through the educational procedures as well. Procedures in the methods, techniques, increasing the production efficiency as well as the income, bettering their levels of the living, and lifting the socio-economic standard of the people. This is the major motto of the agricultural development, because whenever we want to for the agricultural development, we have to focus on these issues: how to increase the production, how to increase the productivity, how to increase the income, how to betterment of the life of the farming community for their development. So in the present era, the new avenues for the digital communication technologies are being used for the dissemination of the agricultural technology. Whatever the ICT we are used, or we can say it is a digital communication technology, is mainly we are used for the dissemination of the agricultural technology. If you glance on the present era of the extension system, the extension workers or the farmers ratio is very wide. If you look into these things, 1:1000, it is recommended during the 1990s to old young. But right now also extension workers mostly engaged in the non-agricultural, non-extension works. So if you glance on these issues, the extension worker expenditure is more than, it is approximate expenditure 100 rupees per farmers. Means right now only 20 to 25% of the extension worker who is involved in the transfer of technology, these technical staff only the graduates. And most are the diploma holders, are there just they are taking the certificate course and they are engaged in the transfer of technologies. Particularly traditional extension practices is very expensive, as you know that, because of directly farmer, we have to go to the farmer's field and we have to contact with the farmers. So it takes time and also expensive one. And traditional extension practices is very time consuming process, because in one day we can meet only 10 to 15 farmers. So it is very time consuming. But in this platform, the city right now, I'm sitting in Parvani, and across the world, across the globe, people are sitting and they are taking the benefit of the DCT. This is one of the great example of the digital communication technologies. At the same time, the quality of message that is eroded and it's passed through the different layers, because we are passing the message from the top level to the grassroots level, that is the farmer. At the same time, their educational standard is also different, their age level is also different. So again, the messages are deteriorated, and that's why farmers are not getting the exact message in the present earlier extension system is concerned. There is poor communication capacity that is in the existing system. So many they are undergraduate or they are diploma holders, they don't have such capacity to communicate properly with the farming community, because whenever we are transferring the technology at the grassroots level, we have to also understand the farmer's problem, and then only we can transfer the technology at the grassroots level. The overall, according to the FAO, the extension workers covers only 7% of the cultivators. It means that 93% of the farmers, they are not at all directly contacted with the extension workers. It means there is a huge gap between the extension worker and the farmers. It's only 7% of the extension worker they are communicated with the cultivator is concerned. Then why the information is delayed at the grassroots level or for the rural areas. Because of the most of the time, what happens, the media or the information managements are not properly used. Whenever we are using the DCT or ICT tools, we have to use it properly, because we have to also think who is our client. Based on our client, based on our mindset of the clients, based on the needs of the client, we have to select such medias for the information technology for the transferring. But most of the time, they are not properly used, and that's why they are not getting the properly information at the grassroots levels. Lack of the sufficient number of the extension worker, as we glance on the earlier my slide, there are huge difference between the extension number of extension worker and the cultivator. So it is one of the reasons to getting the delay information at the rural areas. Lack of updated information with the farmers and most of the extension workers. This is one of the important aspects, because so many times whatever the extension worker they are studied during their earlier study, their study period. So whatever they have the knowledge, they are maybe updated or may not be updated. Those people they are not updated. So in this case, such problems may arise. Sometimes the economic problems of the rural peoples. This is also one of the important reasons for delaying the information at the grassroots level. And particularly in our country is concerned, the top-down approach is adopted in extension activities. Top-down means whatever the information passing from the higher authority, we are passing to the grassroots level. Top-down approach, what the farmers is required, what is the farmers need, we have to also consider this, and because of that, so many linkages between research, extension, and farmers remains weak because of the top-down approach. The connectivity is also one of the important aspects for why the information is we are given delay in the rural areas because of the broadband infrastructure. India, it is till now we are saying that developing country, so we have not developed this such type of the broadband infrastructure at the rural area. Maybe in urban areas right now we are in better condition for the broadband infrastructure, but in rural areas it is very weak. So at the same time, lack of poor information for the useful mobile apps, social medias, and the networks. This is also one of the reasons for giving the delay information at the grassroots level. Investment in digital agriculture. This is most important aspects. Right now, central government, they are investing in the digital agriculture. As we, 3 years back, central government is sanctioned one of the project that is a digital farming for the development in agriculture for using the drone, robots, and AGVs in our university. And this is most of the investment in the digital agriculture. So lack of access to the ICT tools, sometimes poor connectivity, low bandwidth, and limited electricity. These are some of the important reasons why we are not given information to the grassroots level within a time or within a stipulated time period. If you are looking these reasons, if you are sort out these reasons, and if you are try to solve these reasons, so we can reach the grassroots level within a short span of the time. So look into this slide. This is the most important slide. The extension worker to the farmers ratio. This is the most important, because why we go for the digital extension. In the earlier extension, in the present field level extension workers, the post is approximately more than 90,000 are filled. Against required is 1.5 lakhs position in Department of Agriculture, which nearly only 40% of the field level agriculture extension workers, their posts are still vacant. Means whatever our transfer of technology is going on right now, it is only based on the shoulder of the 60% of the extension workers only. So according to DFI, doubling of the farmer income committee, they recommended in 2017, Dr. Dalwai sir. So in this committee, they are given the ratio of the farmers and the extension workers. Particularly in hilly area, farmers and extension worker ratio is only 1:400. Particularly in irrigated area, 1:750, and the rainfed area, 1:1000. If this ratio and the earlier ratio is concerned, and right now our ratio is 1:to approximately 3000, means it is double, 3 times more in the as compared to the rainfed area. It means that there is a huge number of the extension worker is required for the transfer of technology. And these extension, if you are not fill these posts in a regular time, so we can go for the DCT or the digital extension for the betterment of the farmer is concerned. Look into this table. This table in some of the states in our country, particularly in Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Gujarat, Karnataka, Kerala, Orissa, Rajasthan, UP, and West Bengal. These are some of the important top states where there is a huge shortage of the agricultural extension workers, manpower. Means the ratio between the agricultural extension worker with the land holding or the number of the landholders in the particular village is concerned. It clearly indicates that huge number of the extension worker, there is lag between the shortage of the manpower for the transferring the technologies. So coming to the DCT, this digital communication technology, this is most important because of through this technology, it is only one hope for the transfer of the technology right now in the current era. If you use the DCT or the digital technology for the allowing the quick and more efficient exchange and the processing of the information for the grassroots levels, for the modern DCT tools or maybe computer, internet, wireless communication technologies, whatever the powerful softwares which can process and integrated the sound, text, videos, and the electronic media. Right now, most of the scientists, they are making small videos for the particularly pest disease infection or the whatever the technologies want to transfer. These small videos we are preparing and send to the farmers, and farmers, they are taking the benefit. This is one of the important benefit for the DCT is concerned. Major aim of the DCT application is to deliver the extension services. Deliver the extension services means right information at the right time to the right person. These three are most important. Right information, right time, and right person. Sometimes what happens in earlier extension, the traditional extension, we are given right information, but we are not given the information at right time. Means right now we are coming in the Kharif season is coming within few days. So at the same time, we have to give the right information to the right person who is needing. Who farmers, which information is want, means we have to give the information to the right person or who is required the particular information is concerned. That's why we can call 3R, right information, right time, and right person. This is most important aim of the DCT for the transferring the technologies. The particular extension functionaries, they together store, retrieve, disseminate, or broad range of the information needed by the farming community. Means whatever information, once we are prepared, once we have to gather the information, once we have to collect the information, we have to store, we have to retrieve, and we have to disseminate. Whenever the farmers ask information through the DCTs or through the information communication technology, we are communicating to the grassroots level or the farming community. If you look into this picture, this is the picture shows during the 19th century, our extension work. Earlier, there is no communication media, there is no communication tools. The only such type of extension work is going on. Our extension person, they are sitting in the under the tree, and other farmers, they are fellow farmers or farm owners, they are clubbed together, they are discussing on the particular issues. Means this is the overall picture. And this is the earlier extension worker, they are doing, and they are given the information to the grassroots level. Then afterwards, technology is developed. The communication medias are developed, and how they are traditional folk medias. Earlier, we are given information to the traditional and the folk medias. Then earlier we are given the information through the smokes and signals. Then visions. Then chords. Then we can wireless radios. We are used for transferring the technology. Then telephones. Then fax. Then mobile phones. The internet, emails. Right now, what next? Maybe in coming year, the next technologies will be developed for the transfer of the technology. That digital media. Right now, we are using e-extension, e-marketing. Different e means we are electronically we are did the all things. That's how you can call the. These are the development of the communication. This is timeline of the how the communication medias are developed. In the 20th century, we are mostly focusing on the print medias. After the 19th century, we are in print. We are mostly our farmers. They are mostly focused on the print media. That is newspapers. We are used for the transferring technology, books, dictionaries, magazines, journals, annual report, theses, bulletins, encyclopedia. We are using these. And then given the one of the important example that is right now, we are also in the 21st century. Also, the Agro, it is one of the especially agricultural dedicated newspaper which is published from the Maharashtra and is very popular in our state. all the farmers, they are reading the newspaper, particularly in agro one is concerned, they are getting success stories and whatever the new current information, they are getting the information through the newspaper. Right now also people's faith on the print media also, even though we are transferring the information through the DCT is concerned. Then folders, leaflets, pamphlets, posters, we are given the information in these through these medias. Right now also, they are also, for most of the farmers, they are also using these technologies, these medias for the transfer of technologies. Then in 21st century, we are move after the traditional media, then print media, and then move toward the electronic medias. In the 21st century, it is a era of the IT, information and technology. Then we move towards the videos, television, internet, and mobile phones for the transferring the technology. Right now, every person in our country or in the world, they have the mobile phones. Through the mobile phones, we are given the information to the farmers. And these are the picture which shows the earlier through the radios, then television, then we are moved towards the electronic mode, that is the internet. Through the internet, we are communicating to the farmer, that is through the mobile phones. Means whole agriculture in the hands of the farmers in the form of the mobile phones right now. That is a revolution in the electronic medias or electronic discussion. These are the extension activities, they are carried by the earlier farm publication, newspapers, field days, exhibitions, melawas, and through that we are disseminating the technology, we are distributing pamphlets, leaflet, posters to the farming community. I'm trying to compare the earlier media and this media. Whenever DCT we are using the digital communication technologies, as you know that right now in the market there are n number of the mobile apps, particularly in agriculture is concerned. So many people developed the app, and through that app, most of the farmers, they are taking benefit also. Through the television, we are transferring the technologies. Through the smartphones, kiosks, also useful for the transferring the technology, mobile networking, e-learning, video conferencing, emails. Even though sometimes we are also popularly we are using the Facebook for the transferring the technology, WhatsApp. Particularly in all the states, I hope that might be in all these states where they are developing their own WhatsApp groups for the farmers for the disseminating of the technology. In our university, we are developing the district-wise WhatsApp group for transferring the technology. YouTube is also one of the most powerful media or tools for transferring the technology. Through the YouTube, most of the farmers, they are taking the benefits. Twitter also, slowly we are using the Twitter for the transferring technology, blogs, Wikipedias. There are so many web portals are also there. So these are some of the important tools for the transferring the technology. And most of the farmers, even though earlier farmers are maybe illiterate, but right now most of the farmers are illiterate, and they are using the all the ICT tools. Interestingly, and another benefit of these ICT tools, whatever they are using, they are in the form of the videos or the PDF files. They are stored in their mobile. Whenever they want the information on the particular aspect, just they are open the mobile and they are seeing the whatever the information want for the their problem is concerned. Then just you look after what are the limitations of the earlier agricultural extension, why you go for the DCT for the transferring the technology. So the limitations in the form of the, as in you know that is expensive and the time consuming and the distortion of message. There is more chances of the distortion of the message because of their age or the qualification is concern of the extension worker, and their time lag between the whatever information received from the university or source of the particular information and transferring to the grassroots level. It took more than 1 year or 2 years. During 2 years, maybe distortion of message, there is chances. And poor communication capacity, it is one of the most important limitations of the traditional agricultural extension methods, and neglect of the extension in the agricultural development. As you know that particularly whenever we are using the transfer of the technology is concerned, all the government schemes, they are very much popularly we are spreading, but most of the sectors, most of the times the extension work is neglected in the agricultural development. This is one of the limitations for the agriculture, earlier traditional agricultural extension methods. And then what are the potentials of the DCTs? The cut steps in the diffusion process. The whatever information we are disseminating to the farmers, cut step in this diffusion process within a short span of the time, within a second, whatever information you put into the group, Within a short span of the time, all the peoples they are getting information. Means whatever information, whatever the innovation generated in the university, research station, or any private company, or wherever the innovations are generated, within short span of the time, we are transferring the innovations to the grassroots level. And that's why this is one of the important potential of the DCTs, that it saves the money and efforts. Why it saves the money? Because it requires very less money for just once we are established the infrastructure, then we can disseminate, and also efforts also. Once the infrastructure are developed, then within a short span of the time, we are disseminating the new technology in the grassroots level. Instant international reach means within a short span of the time. For our today's training, so many participants from the abroad. It means internationally we are also reaching. Even I am sitting in the Parvani, it is a distinct place, but I am reaching to the abroad also. This is the potential of the DCT. This is one of the great example and great advantages of the DCT. This is the instant reaching to the international level. Then continuous availability of the information. This is online. Means 24/7 we are available. All the information is available in one click. So whatever information one farmers they are getting information within a short span of the time. There is no time lag between what the information required and what he need. So within a short span of the time we get the information. Then access to updated information at any time. This is the most important potential advantage of the DCT, because whatever the updated versions are there, we are updating the information. But once in the traditional agriculture extension, once our information is published or printed on the book, so it is very difficult to update. Means we have to publish another book in edited form, and then we have to circulate it to the farmers. So that's why it is updated information within a short span of the time. This is the graph showing the digital population in the country. As you know that just you see the graph is 462 million people. They are using the active users of the internet users in our country. It means that most of the farmers they are using most of the people they are using the internet. Then what is the role of digital media in the agricultural extension? How the agricultural extension is for agricultural extension, we are using the digital media for transferring the technology. The digital media is an appropriate tool for diffusing the agricultural. This is the most important. Means that through the digital media, we are connecting the n number of farmers, and we are given the information within a short span of the time. Because most of the farmers they are connected with each other through the Facebook, through the WhatsApp, or through the different modes. But they are communicating. They are diffusing the agricultural information within short span of the time. Whatever the incidents may be happen in the next year or forecast, within short span of the time, we are given the information regarding forecast to the farmers. The publication in agricultural extension can be shared through the digital media. There is no need of the public print all the information. There is no need. Means through the digital media, we are public whatever our information we are gathered, we are preparing in the form of the PDF or preparing in the form of the Word file or videos or whatever it may be, whatever information we are gathered, we are shared through the digital media only. There is no need given the printed. Means that this is one of the important. Digital media is suitable for creating awareness among the users at the faster. As you know that because of these, it is transferring the technology. It is a very short span of time, and that's why the awareness creating the awareness is very fast as compared to the earlier. Because whatever within all the people that are well connected, and they are creating the awareness through the digital media as well. Digital media is information rich and interactive among the scientists, extension workers, and the farmers. Because through the digital media, we can see the videos, we can audio, we can see some PDF files, pictures, or everything. That's why it is very interactive, informative, and it is liking by the scientists, extension workers, as well as the farmers. Because our end client is the farmer, and if the farmer is through the interactive mode or through the information rich mode, they are well connected with our apps or their digital media, and this is one of the important role for the media for the transferring the technology. The digital media is have the widest scope for the extension using the various techniques. As you know that there are a number of techniques for the transferring, and that's why one of the important role for the digital media in the agricultural transfer of technology. Why there is need of the digital need of the digital media. As you know that for the agricultural growth, if you want to agricultural growth earlier, the digital media is used in banks, they are used in the railways, they are using the LICs, but in agricultural sectors, right now digital media is popularly we are used in the transferring the technology, to develop the knowledge of the farmers, to service to the stakeholders in transforming their transformation of their society, then making the empowerment of the farmers, or for the better information access, cost effective and knowledge resourceful person. For that purpose, they need to develop the digital media for their grassroots level, for the agriculture development. So this plant shows clearly how the agricultural growth is possible with these through these medias. If you are using, there is a need for the development of the agricultural media. Then coming to the how the digital media is successful, there is what are the key points for the successful using the digital media for the transfer of technology. First of all, we have to understand nature of the audience. Means that we have to first of all understand the audience. Who is our audience? Who is our client? Our farmers. In which language they want the information? In which what content they require? What information they want? Which crops they are cultivated in the particular area? Means we have to understand the nature of the audience. If you are understanding the audience, then there is no problem. Means there is a how means definitely successful in the digital media. If you are firstly we are understand the proper audience, then objective should be clear. Our objective, if you want to communicate the one information to the farmers, our objective should be clear. We want to disseminate this information. So then select the appropriate media, which media is useful for transferring the particular information. Then identity of the particular media, then encourage the one's participation. Means we have to encourage all the people who is involved in the particular digital media, his participation is concerned. Then content is most important. As you know that our country, there are more than 100 languages we are spoken. But everywhere the written material is different language. So that's why in every time we have to also think our farmers in which they want, in which language. They want simple content, the simple words they want. And that's why the content is also most important. Content, in what context they want the information, the processing, or the cultivation, or their post-harvest technology. Everywhere content, we have to also using the simple language. Everything in the content aspect we have to also consider, and then encourage for the feedback. Feedback improves the for key success of the digital media, because if you are getting the proper feedback, then we have the chances for the improvement in ourselves. What the farmers required, where will be wrong if they are getting the proper feedback. And that's why feedback is the most important thing for the development of the any aspects. Particularly in digital media, we want to more successful. So for encourage to the participant for giving the feedbacks from the farmers or the participant. These are some of the steps through which the digital media definitely successful we are using, or we are going for the transfer of the technologies. At the same time, we are also highlighting on the SWOT analysis of the digital media. What are the strengths, what is the weakness, and what is threat, and what are the opportunities of the digital media is concerned. As you know that the particular strength is concerned, the individualization of the learning. Here through the digital media, then individualization of the learning is possible. High speed delivery means that within short span of the time we are communicating to all the participants. Then multiple teaching functions and the diverse audience there. As you know that right now in our class also there are diverse audience. Since from the Kanyakumari to the Jammu and Kashmir, there are all the audience are there. It's diverse audience are there. Then interactivity is there. The uniform quality is there. So this is our strength of the media. And so strength means the features which allows you to operate more effectively than the competitors. That's why also we have to think what is the strength of the digital media for the transfer of the technology. At the same time, some of the weakness also there. So as you know that we are still now we are a developing country, and the infrastructure and the startup cost is high. Still now we don't have such type of huge infrastructure at the grassroots level or the rural area. So if you are once they are created, then there is no problem. Means we have to also highlighting on the for creation of the infrastructure facility at the grassroots level. Officers and trainees need orientation and reorienting because of the digital media is new concept. At the same time, So officers and trainers, they use for the continuous upgradation is required. Hard to assess impact because of its complexity. Sometimes we can feel that digital media is a complex one, but there is need to also highlight on this issue for their making the weakness. So as opportunity part is concerned, the few social media apps are available without internet. Some of the offline apps are also there. This is one of the important opportunity for us. So farming a global national interest groups is possible, reaching one to many. It means that within short span of the time, we are reaching the n number of people or n number of advisors or the participants or the farmers. So reaching to the many is one of the great opportunity in this or digital media. Greater engagement and the information flow allows for integration or the wide range of the stakeholders. Means anybody can participate. Anybody, not only the only soybean growers, only sugarcane growers, any stakeholders, they are participated in the particular or gathering is concerned. Can act as catalyst for resource mobilization. This is the most important thing, the most important opportunity for the, this can act as a catalyst. Catalyst means resource to the resource mobilization. Whatever the technology generated in the university, through these media, we can mobilize these information to the grassroots level or the end users. At the same time, some threats are there. We have to also think on the quality control. Internet and infrastructure issues are there in the grassroots level, satisfying the heterogeneous group users, then continuous engagements in the training or the transferring technology, skilled human resources to maintain the social media interactions. Then we are also creating the awareness among the social medias and potential at the organization level. So this is also our threats for the external, whatever the diversity effect on the works. We are also highlighting on these things. Means once we are to knowing the SWOT analysis. So what is the strength, what is the weakness, what are the opportunity, what are the threats. So through that, we can improve for the transferring the technology through the digital media is concerned. We look into the some of the barriers in the digital media, maybe the illiteracy, one of the barriers, the passive users, mindset of the users, lack of technical know-how. Maybe in coming era, maybe this may not be barriers for the in future. Then the extension workers oriented, some of the attitude toward the social media, overloaded with the works, lack of engagements in the infrastructure, high cost, technical some issues are there. Irrelevant, sometimes irrelevant information also there. So many mails we have got, they are irrelevant for us. Maybe the bulk information or the misinformation is there. Some of these are the barriers in the digital media is concerned. So if you look into the social networking sites, or these are the important medias or the tools for the transferring the technology for the agricultural development. Because of the social media sites, we can reach to the n number of people, n number of participants, n number of farmers within a short span of the time for using different social media platforms for the transfer of the technologies. Means within the short span, we are transferring all the media, maybe Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or the other medias we are used for the transferring the technologies concerned. Then particularly YouTubes are also we are using group WhatsApp groups, Facebooks for the transfer of the technologies. Through that we are exchanging photographs and the information. Also we are sharing to the farmers through the WhatsApp. As earlier I said that there are so many universities or the NGOs or the private companies, they are developing the WhatsApp groups of the farmers in particular area, or the CIGs or the common interest groups, or they are developed for the particular area is concerned, and then they are getting the common benefit for all the population through this short span of the time. Maybe they are given the videos or the audios or different information they are given through the WhatsApp medias. And this is one of the YouTube channel. As you know that most of the universities, they have their own YouTube channel. Whatever they are program, whatever the information collected, they are put onto the YouTube, and farmers, they anytime they can see the information on the YouTube, or small videos they are put on the YouTube. And whenever they want, they see once again through the short span of the time, they are watching the so many times. Some of the private, that is IFCO Kisan apps, they are also developed for the agricultural information relevant to their needs of the farmers, weather forecast, agricultural advisory, best practices, tips related to agriculture, animal husbandry, horticulture. buyer and seller information platform. This is most important. Just earlier we are given only information regarding the crop production, but buyer and seller information platform is also required. For production is not most important. At the same time, for getting higher cost of the particular produce is also most important for the our is concerned. So farmers also getting the more important the high cost of the particular crop. That's why buyer and seller platform is also required for the transferring the technology is concerned or information is concerned. Some of the agri-media apps developing for their distance learning or the transferring the agricultural information to the all the languages, maybe Gujarati, Hindi, or the all the languages they are developed with the different agricultural apps. Some of the e-Kisan Suvidha, these are started by the government of India toward the empowerment of farmers in development of village. This is most important because empowerment of farmer is our main motto for the agriculture development. Without empowering the farmer, the agriculture development is not possible. Means that development is only possible through the empowerment of the farmer is concerned. And for that purpose, we are the government of India, government of Maharashtra, and maybe all the governments of all the states, they are taking the more initiatives for the empowering the farmers for in the particular area is concerned. Then some of the Kisan Mitra apps, they are developed by the some of the, just I'm putting here only examples, but most of the KVKs, they are also developed the different apps for their transferring the technologies. These are one of the video conferencing. This is also one of the tools for the transferring the technologies. Then just I'm putting one of the example that is of the Madurai Agriculture College and Research Station. Whatever the earlier is, why I am given such examples from the different parts of our country. So because even though farmers is staying in remote area, they are also created more awareness through the video conferencing. They are called to the farmers, they are called to the scientists for the particular problems. They are shown through the videos, and then they are getting the information from the scientists, and they are solving the problem. This is a great achievement of these video conferencing apps, or these are the digital media. This is great achievement because there is no need to come to the university or research station or college or wherever getting the resource information. There is no need. Wherever the farmer is staying, he is staying in the particular village area, scientists sitting into their chamber or in the university, but through the video conferencing, they are getting information and they are solving their problems. This is one of the great achievement of the digital communication technology, and through that transfer of technology or digital extension is possible for the agricultural development is concerned. Otherwise, if you are not getting the benefit, so maybe farmers, they are not getting the particular yield of the particular crop is concerned. That's why such type of extension work is most important for the transfer of technology is concerned. Some of the, as you know, that the extension, so many extension initiatives, they are taken by the government or the ICT projects, maybe the website portals or e-learning resources or the number of available. As the AQA, it is one of the online discussion multi-language, the multimedia based channel they are formed. Means through that they are given the information to the n number of farmers in their whatever they have problem, they are just putting and they are solving their issues. Then Kisan Kerala continuing processing information, dissemination information, video channels or tele-advisory, SMS, GIS, based agro services. Means whatever the problems they have, they are trying to solve the problems within short span of time. Means there is time lag between the whatever the problem identified by the farmer and the solution is very less. This is one of the great achievement of the DCT, and that's why the digital technology is used for the agriculture development. Some of the agri-nets they are using for the transfer of the technologies, DESNet or eKrishi, India Development Gateway portals. They are the multilingual portals are there in agriculture development because of in our country, so many people they are spoken the different languages. That's why multi-language portals are required for the transfer of technologies concept. As you know that the rice knowledge management portal, this is one of the important because in the South India, most of the states they are cultivating the rice, and through these portals they are getting the information within short span of the time. That's why these are such initiatives taken by the such of the ICAR institutes for their getting the information to the farming communities. Then Agmark Net, it is also one of the important aspects for the transferring the technology to the ICT Chopas. You might be knowing that more than 6,500 e-chaupas are there, spread all over the 40,000 villages in the rural India. Means through the e-chaupas, they are getting the information from the Kerala to Jammu Kashmir to the Kanyakumari. It means that even though private sector is also involved in the digital agricultural extension. In everywhere, in every district place or means taluka place, they have the e-chaupas. And through the e-chaupas, they are given information to the farmers. It means that even the farmer also getting the benefit. It is a benefit of the DCT for the farming development is concerned. EID Parry is there. IndiaCommunities.com. It is one of the best important market-based information pattern sugar I see. Also, all the crops they are given the previous in market information. As earlier I told that the whatever cultivation is not important, or getting higher produce is not important, but getting higher cost of the particular produce is most important. And through such apps or through such sites, we are getting the information for the more crops is concerned. Then Mahindra Kisan Mitra or IFCO Agri portals are there, AgroWatch portals are there, iKisan is one of the important portals developed for the different crops will be provided. Whatever the demands, they are given the demands and they are getting information through the very short span of the time. The village knowledge centers are there. As you know that the MS Swaminathan Research Foundation is private institute also they are involved for the transferring the agricultural technology. Through that VKCs or VRCs, they are transferring the technology. They are, even though ISRO also they are taking initiatives for their village resource center. This was one of the most important. If you want to develop the agriculture, we have to develop the village. Once village is developed, definitely once farmers are understanding the whatever the problems, whatever the cultivation aspects, then definitely village development is possible through the different aspects is concerned. Then community information centers also established by the different systems. Common information centers are developed. Then mobile telephony is also formed for their transfer of technology. That is Kisan Call Center. As you know that so many farmers they are taking the benefit from the Kisan Call centers. They are asking the questions and the three-layer structure. They are getting the information in their different. They're sitting there agents. The mobile advisory services are there. Different KVKs, ICARs, agriculture universities, some private firms. They are starting the SMS advisory services. Because through the SMS also they are giving the information to the farmers for the cultivation, for the weather forecast, markets, or the pest disease infestation. Everything they are given through the mobile advisory services also. Some of the hybrid projects also taking initiatives for the ICTI infra mediaries for the transfer of the technologies concerned. eSago, it is one of the agro advisory services by the digital photographs and coordinated by the different farmers. Benefited for the as per their website. So the whatever the digital media they are using for the transferring the technology, they definitely they are benefited for the farming is concerned. Looking toward the ENAM, this is one of the important aspect because as you know that electronic national agriculture marketing or the electronic national agriculture market scheme was launched by the government of India in 2016. Through these ENAM being the more than whatever the regulated markets, wholesale markets are there, they are well connected with each other. And whatever the farmers sitting into the South India, they are sell their produce to the North India. Any person from sitting in North India is through the ENAM. They are all the mandis across the 14 states. They are lively on the basis of their. They are lively well connected with each other, and through that they are selling their produce. This is one of the great achievement for the agriculture e-marketing is concerned. Then Kisan Krishi Deepam is one of the also important sites for their transferring the technology in Malayalam language for their producer is concerned. Then RMA, this is particularly in Maharashtra. This is one of the very much popular message system for the farmers. All the farmers they are registered and they are getting information whatever they want their local language. And within short span of they are getting, even though text based they are getting the particular village is concerned. Means you see the right now more 18 states they are covered with the 60,000 villages and 3.4 million farmers they are associated with the RMA. This is the power of the transfer of technology for the using the digital media is concerned. Then one of the another aspect that is eSAP for the transferring the technology. These are some of the apps developed by our university. This is just the introduction and given the integrated weed management is concerned, agrotech, that is our whatever the information agriculture diaries, their plant nutrition, turmeric cultivation, and then soil water conservation, then irrigated cotton cultivation, dry land agriculture. There are so many apps developed by our university, and our farmers, they are used regularly, and they are connected with our app, and they are also giving feedback for the particular app is concerned. So these are the whatever the extension systems we are using for the digital agriculture extension. So coming to the last part of my presentation. So I would like to conclude this because of the agriculture extension system or the agriculture research extension and farmers is one of the important component for these three aspects: research, extension, and farmers. The agriculture extension system is only meant for these three. Whatever the technology developed in the university or generated in the university, if you are not transferring to the grassroots level, then what is the use? So through these media, maybe the traditional, maybe the digital, through the agriculture. That's why these are the most important component for the transferring the technology. The farmers and extension worker ratio is becoming wider, so it is necessary to apply the digital media for the agriculture extension for better serving for the large number of the community. Earlier, we are using the traditional agriculture extension, no doubt, but right now we have the powerful tool with us. So why not we can use the digital media for the transferring the technology? It is one of the great powerful tools we got. And through that media, we have to serve for the large number of farming community for getting the information for the farming communities. Then application of the digital media in the research and education organization, helping or improving their efficiency. Because of the very short span of the time, if you are using the digital media, it will helpful for education organization, it will helpful for the research organization, it will helpful for increasing their efficiency because data is stored, everything is stored, whatever they are developing. That's why through the digital media, it will also useful for them also. And disseminating the agricultural information to the consumers and target population is lacking. So it is the most important thing. If you are using the DCT, it will be helpful for the making the target population, that is agriculturist in the farming is concerned. With the help of digital media, one can access the right information at the right time to the right person. Means 3R. It is an important goal of the digital media: right information, right person to the at the right time. We are given through the only digital media. India having the highest number of youth population, as you know that India, it is a very young country in the world. There is the highest number of population, youth population. It is also opportunity to use the young brigade for harnessing the agricultural information through the digital media among the farming community for doubling of the farming. If you want a doubling of the farmer income, only and only this is the media for the digital media for the transferring of the technology. Within a short span of the time, we are disseminating information. Farmers can get the information. Farmers can use the information, adopt in their field, and they are getting the more income, and they are getting the more price for their crop through the different markets are connected. And that's why we have to harness this one because of our youth population is more as compared to the other countries in the world. So if you are harnessing these things, so definitely we are more development in the agricultural development is possible through the digital media concept. These are some of the references. And as you know that the digital media is the only way to disseminating agricultural information for doubling of the farm income. This is a message I want to give from the today's my presentation. And only digital media is helpful for the development of the agricultural media. So I stop my presentation. So thank you for listening carefully, all of you. So if any queries, we will discuss on the issue. Please.
Thank you so much, sir, for this beautiful lecture. You shared about the information about the importance of digital systems in extension, digitalization in agriculture extension systems and cyber extension and everything. So, sir, first question that I would like to put on you is, sir, on one hand, we are talking about the digitalization and the development of digital systems in the country. And on the other hand, we are facing a decline in the farm population. Like farmers are leaving agriculture, and those who are left in agriculture are mostly small and marginal farmers, which are mostly laggards and, less digitally literate, mostly digitally illiterate. So how do we address that condition or that situation?
The answer is in your question only because I say that most of the farmers are laggards. And most of our country is a very youth population is 40%. That's why I'm 40 more than 40%. If you are harnessing this population, so definitely farmers they are increasing their interest, and most of the farmers they are maybe they are staying in the because of the migration problems are there. But through these media we are communicating their information properly at the proper time at the right person. So we can minimize the problems because sometimes maybe they are getting less price in the their produce. Maybe they are migrated from their rural area to urban area. Maybe this one picture is there, but at the same time, we are also harnessing our young population for the development of the agriculture is concerned. And that's why government of India, all the state government, they are taking initiatives for their making their population in their particular village concerned.
Thank you, sir. So now, as a student of extension, this is my personal question towards you. Sir, we were discussing that the ratio of extension worker and farmers is very less. And we see that, people in agriculture are not that much inclined towards taking extension as a subject. We see mostly in the part of Rajasthan, UP, Gujarat, the central India more specifically, because South India is doing more or less good, but the central part of India, people are not that much interested in taking up extension as a subject. So how do we address that situation so that the more extension farmers are, attracted towards, more students are attracted towards the subject?
Rishi, all subjects are equivalent in their importance. As far as extension is concerned, as you know that in any university, they have three major mandate: education, research, and extension. Means 33% contribution on the extension people's shoulders of the extension peoples. So it is our ability to how they are creating the more importance in their agricultural system. Because right now we are developing the agriculture research in the institute or research stations, but we are transferring the technology through the digital media. So here our part is most important through the how we are interestingly transferring the technology. Most of the time, what happens, whenever the students of the agriculture, as you said that you are the student of the agriculture extension, when they getting the admission in the agriculture, those students who are not getting the admission in the upper 9 subjects, reading, agronomy or soil science, those means accidentally they are coming to the agriculture extension. But no one can say, interestingly, I'm coming in the agriculture extension. This is changing the mindset. Firstly, changing our mindset is the most important. Once our mindset is changed, there is absolutely no problem. All subjects are equal importance because we have to create importance of our subject, and we have to show that these are the media, and through these media we are transferring the technology. If you create these small videos for the agriculture development, just you incorporate your creativity in the agriculture for transferring the technology. Just use small videos of the pest infestation or the small development of the seed treatment or whatever it may be through the farmers, you can also earn the money. So many students of our university, they are starting this type of by this small video they are sending, they are earning through the YouTubes or different channels. This is one of the way. So we have to create an importance for our subjects.
Yes, sir. Definitely, sir. So next I would like to ask you is, what about the rejuvenation of research and extension? Like we see that, we are continuously stuck in that particular system of research where we are just assessing the knowledge and adoption and perception. So what are the new trends and what can be the new trends in research and extension systems?
Yes, it's a very good question. As you know that the different, as far as the region is concerned, there are different issues and problems are arising. Maharashtra problems are arising, might be Rajasthan problems are based need-based. We have to first of all we have to conduct the need-based research. So many times, even though just you take the example of our student, even GPP or agronomy or any students, they are not conducting their own research, PhD or PG research based on their need of the farmers. They are conducting research need what the easy is there. Based on that, they are conducting this. But we have to first of all we have to target our population, that is farmers. So if you are whatever the problem of the farmers, if you are highlighting on that issue and we have tried to solve, definitely whatever your research conducted in your during PG and PhD study, it will help for the farmers, and that's why there is need to rejuvenation in the research and the extension is concerned. For there such type of if you are conducting the good research, definitely it will helpful for the farmers. But so most of the research is in the form of our thesis. For getting the degree, it's okay, but research is not useful to the farmers. So whatever the research is useful, definitely farmers are adopted.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your answer. And That's all about the question and answer session. So now I would like to thank you for being with us and sharing such an informative lecture and enlightening us about the recent developments in extension systems. So thank you so much, and we
I'm
hope
also very happy to share the information with all of you. My friend Gopal is communicated me regarding just agriculture, and he's insisted me to deliver the lecture because all the parts of our country, their participants are there, and
Yes.
they are also insisted me. So it's very nice interaction with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and we hope to see you in future also in these kind of programs.
Yeah, no
Yes.
problem.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. So this was Dr. Kadam, and he shared his thoughts and knowledge about the digitalization in agricultural extension system. Now it's time to move on with another session of the program. And now I would like to invite Dr. Himani Gautam, and would hand over the stage to her. Now she will take up this further sessions. Dr. Himani Gautam, over to you.
Thank you, Rishi, and thank you, Dr. Kadam, sir. It was indeed a very wonderful session. And hello, everyone. A very good evening to all of you present over here. As we all know that today is the last day of our 21 days international training come workshop program. And there is a saying that all our dreams come true if we have the courage to pursue them. Like that, this program was also a dream for us. And now we can proudly say that the team Just Agriculture and AEFWS has made it a huge hit. Jackson Brown Jr. Has once said, and I quote, "The best preparation for tomorrow is doing your best today. If you believe in yourself and have dedication and pride, you will be a winner, and the price of victory is high, so are the rewards." With this note, I, Himani Gautam, cordially welcomes you all to the final day of Agriculture 3.0, a futuristic approach towards smart agriculture and sustainable urban farming. 21, which is a 21 days international on training come workshop program. It gives us immense pleasure to witness such an attentive audience throughout these 21 days. And now taking the program to the next segment, I would like to invite our next guest and speaker of the session, Dr. Tekade Dayanand Devidas Rao. He is Associate Professor at College of Agricultural Engineering and Technology, VNMKV Prabhani. His specialization is farm machinery and power engineering. Sir has done BTech Agriculture Engineering from College of Agriculture Engineering and Technology, VNMKV Prabhani, MTech Agriculture Engineering from MPKV Rahuri, and PhD from VNMKV Prabhani. Sir has 21 years of experience in teaching and 11 years of experience in research. Sir has published more than 25 research papers in national and international journals, and today sir will deliver his talk on topic computer-aided engineering analysis for smart portable machinery. So it is my firm belief that this is going to be a very informative session for all of us. And with this, I just want to hand over the virtual podium to sir. So over to you, sir. Participants, let's just wait for 5 minutes for sir. There is some technical issue at his end. Sir, kindly unmute.
Sir, I am audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Sir, I am visible. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
आम्हाला आपला
नाही ते इको क्रिएट होईल तसं काही करू नका, ह्यांचाच आवाज ह्यांनाच येईल. 2 मिनिट, आपण हेडफोन कनेक्ट केले नाहीये, इथून आवाज येईल.
Sir, your camera is still off.
Headphones नाही, ह्याचं एकच चालू आहे.
राहू एक असलं तरी
हे तुमचं अनम्यूटच असेल. ठीक आहे ना, व्हिडिओ ऑन करते. आवाज येतो.
Hello, sir. I am audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible and visible.
Hello. Hello.
Sir, you are audible.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I am audible, madam.
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Okay.
Your screen is also visible.
Okay. Can I start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Good evening, all of you, and welcome. Today's my workshop topic is computer-aided engineering and analysis of smart portable machinery. We know that the smart portable machinery means machines are the devices or tools embedded with advanced information technologies such as artificial intelligence, all of which to use to reason, problem solve, make decisions, even ultimately take actions during the farm operations. We know that we perform different farm operations in the field, from tillage to the harvesting of the crop. So nowadays there is a different smart agricultural machineries are available in market and abroad also. So in smart farming is the integration of existing farming practices with advanced technologies, which is operated by manually or digitally. So which involves increasing the efficiency of the machines and increasing the decreasing your production cost and increasing the production by using up to 20 to 25%. So agriculture operations are exceptionally labor intensive with repetitive and standardized tasks, which are an opportunity for small portable machines. This new way of smart equipment will make it possible to produce higher quality food with less manpower and less drudgery. So we know that there are different types of smart portable machineries according to the
different farm operations which is performed in the field, which are autonomous and robotic labors operated, seeding and planting machineries for small fields and for large field also. There is a smart machines are available which are automatically working in the field according to the field situations, and planting machinery also available for large farm and small farms which are suitable for small and marginal farmers. So there are different operations like weeding and crop maintenance is also very important operations. For this also we required smart portable machineries, harvesting from crop fields and orchards. So for harvesting also is a major hard components of the farmers to harvest the crop within time and timely. So all timely operations can increase the yield up to 20 to 25%. So timely tillage operations, timely interculture operations, timely spraying operation, timely irrigation, timely harvesting, and timely marketing, and produce goes to the market timely, which increase near about 30 to 40% profit of the farmers. So main object of this smart portable machinery is the reducing the labor components and increasing yield and efficiency of the work. So nowadays in the agriculture field, new technologies like drones for spraying and other operations. Generally in fields, spraying is a very time consuming and laborious operations by using manually labors. So in India specifically, we have to use manually spraying operations by using power sprayer or hand sprayer. It will take more time. And nowadays, by using different sprayers, spraying machines, which is tractor operated or power operated, which consumes more energy and more times, and there is a loss of crop also there. So that's why now drones spraying is now a new technology arrived in our Indian field. And by using this smart portable machinery, real-time monitoring and analysis also done there. So some different smart portable machinery available in our India is a solar operating sprayer. So this is solar power operated sprayer, which is operated by manually and by digitally also, by using our mobile apps and by using our monitors also. So for close growing crops specifically, we have to use the solar power operated spraying machine. The capacity of this solar sprayer is near about 40 liter. So that in that capacity, we have to cover smaller vegetable crops areas there. So another smart machinery is field monitoring machineries. So this is a one robotic machinery which is used for field monitoring. What is field monitoring? That means we have to monitor the soil temperature, soil moisture, then pests and diseases coming on plants and crops, and according to that we have to use the machinery for spraying or controlling all the field operations there. So another machinery is a fruit harvesting robot. So this is a fruit harvesting robot is now available in digital farming. So in that farming for harvesting of matured fruits or mature crop vegetables, we have to use this smart portable harvesting robot. For harvesting of the crop according to the size of field, we have different crop harvesting machines are available for wheat, for rice, for sugarcane. Different harvesters are there, combined harvesters are there from small size field also and for large size field also there. So nowadays, new machine that we have developed in our center is a cotton picking robot. So this is our new and solar power operated cotton picking machine. So this is our new invention that we have to do for picking the cotton. Because in our Maharashtra, specifically in Marathwada region, we have a lot of cotton area, and that cotton is harvested by using by manually method, manual labor there only. So for that, we have developed this quarter picking robot to minimize the drudgery, minimize the drudgery of the labors there. And another machine that we have developed, solar power operated cotton picking machines. So these are the smart machine, which is operated by manual labor also, and by our digitally monitoring method also there. So in this, on batteries are provided, and by with solar power, we have to operate this solar operated machine. So there we know that these are the big machines which are available in developed countries. There's weeding for different weeding operations, for interculture operations, for seed sowing operations, for vegetable harvesting. So this type of machines are available. Now our center also developed some other smart portable machineries. So scissors lift. So scissors lift is used for harvesting the fruit crops. So high height crops are harvested by using this lift, scissor lift, up to near about 10 meter height, and we have to harvest mangoes, we have to harvest sapotas, so which are high elevation plants. We have to put harvest by using this scissor lift. Another is very important machine, that smart portable is electric vehicle. So by using this electric vehicle, we have to do different number of operations. That is for interculture operation, and then the spraying operation, transportation operations. So this is a electric vehicle, and that is also operated by using battery here. So battery also, and our fuel also, that is petrol. By using petrol, we have to operate this electric vehicle. Another machinery that we have developed for digging the holes for our plantation of food crops or plantation of forest crops, forest plants. We have to need digging the hole. So that is manually operated post-hole digger that is used for this digging the holes. So these are the common machineries which are available in a market and which is developed by our center. So that we have seen here. So now I have given one example for design and development of a pneumatic cotton picking machine by using computer engineering analysis, because we have developed a number of machines, but before developing any machine or we have to require their engineering analysis. So what are the different forces coming on that machine? That is machine is working for different temperature or different pressure or different speeds, that we have to calculate it by using different engineering tools. So for that, we this required this one software for doing this analysis. So where there is one procedure for, there is one procedure. So what is the CA analysis of cotton machine, cotton picking machine? The computer-aided engineering analysis is the very important software tool useful to perform a prefabrication diagnosis of the machine components and entire machine assembly. And we have to assessment for its fitness towards a sustainable design and can proceed to fabrication work with virtual confirmation by structural, cumulative, fluid dynamics, and electromagnetic stresses. And we required analysis is required to design and can functionally evaluate to optimum design parameters. That means before fabricating any machine, we have to analyze their different components which are working for the different pressures, different temperatures, different velocity, because in field we have to observe different field conditions. In our tool is work in different soil conditions, in hard soil, in soft soil, in black cotton soil. So for that different types of soils, we have to work our tool easily, so that their analysis is very important there. So that's why this analysis is very important before fabrication or in development of machine. So this is the importance of this CA analysis. So steps in CA analysis cycle can be created by the following standard procedural steps. So we have one software of the CA analysis, that is a ANSYS 220R2. In that software, this is a procedure to design or to analysis any machine in this software. So first we have to observe the need of new CAD design. So for need, so which machine that we have to develop and it's a need to design that we have to first decide. Then geometric modeling with standard dimensional assumptions. So before developing any machines, so standard dimensions that we have to assume, and then according to that we have to design it. So each components, solid geometry with volumes and surfaces and assembly should be designed, that should be considered. And then its final element meshing is done. Element meshing is very important component in analysis. By using meshing, we have to observe the different pressures, different velocities that is operated on that machine parts, loading and boundary conditions, that is different loading and boundary conditions that we have to observe here. And simulation of that parts is done after its final element meshing. The analysis report with refinement and corrections that you have to get from that software, the final model with technical specifications that we will get after its analysis report. Then fabrication, and after according to that final model and technical specification, we are going to fabricate this machine with functional components. After fabrication of this machine, first we do a laboratory test, laboratory performance test, so that that machine can work properly in a lab for different conditions in a field. That is the laboratory performance before going to the field. And then after completion, satisfactory completion of laboratory testing, we will go to the field for performing its field performance testing there. And after field performance testing, that machine that we have to release for the farmers for working in a field. And any suggestions that we have to observe or any modifications that we have to observe in that machine, then again we have to propose a new design of that machine or new development components of that machine. So it is very important to follow the steps for any design CNNs of the machine. So this is the workbench of this ANSYS software. On this workbench, you see we have to, in left side, a number of features are given here. That features that we have to, that data that we have to use for that analysis, and we have to get these results from this workbench there. So this workbench is ANSYS 2020 software, which is available in the market. So what is ANSYS analysis? So the ANSYS analysis has been carried out using ANSYS Workbench 2020 R2 software. The process involves following steps. Already I told you just flow chart or flow diagram of this machine. So we have to develop any machine. Before that machine, we have to design different components as per input parameters. Here we are designing one impeller and casing with some input parameters. So first we have to design any component of the machine using any input parameters there. Then model is meshed using tetrahedron elements of size 3 mm. The meshing fine at areas near to the blade, this providing a fine boundary layer simulation. The mesh domain is the air, solid, and trapeze domain. That means any part components that we have to develop that should be meshed by using tetrahedron thickness of size 3 mm for the different components of that parts. The creating of the solver setup in which the model of the fluid domain was divided into region of the inlet and outlet surfaces. The determined parameters that needed is input pressure, velocity, etc. So using this procedure, structural analysis has been done of the any machines there. So this is a computer engineering analysis for one example that you have to taken for your knowledge. So which components that we have to consider while designing any machine. So we have developed this cotton picker machine at our center in my office. So that machine, which procedure that we have to follow for the computer analysis that we have seen here. So first we see we have to develop this cotton picking machine at the center of this picture. Then first we have new design that we have to done before this machine. Then geometric modeling and solid model that we have developed by using this software. Then finite meshing with the FA tool we have to done for its stability and working for different pressures and different conditions. Then boundary and loading conditions that we have to observe by using analysis. And after boundary and loading conditions, after meshing is completed, simulation of these different components that we have to done there, and any corrections that we have to observe, that we have to, according to that, we have to design that machine. And after getting its final specification, we have to fabricate that machine in a workshop. So already I told you why this cotton picker machine that is developed by our center. So in India, cotton, we know that the cotton is the king of the fiber and white gold. India ranks first in the world under cotton cultivation. According to the ICAR Center, Nagpur, Maharashtra, the production of this cotton is 6.45 million tons. That is 38 million bales of 170 kg cotton fiber, according to the last year's data there. And India, we know that India is the second largest producer of the cotton in the world after China, with average yield 553 kg per hectare against the average 580 kg. So state-wise production of cotton crop in India, Madhya Pradesh is the first cotton growing state in India. Maharashtra is second, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh. These are the Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, and some other states have only 10% share of cotton production in India there. For your knowledge, according to 2016. So district-wise share of production of cotton crop in Maharashtra specifically. So in Maharashtra, near 38% cotton that you have to grown in some districts, and yet to 5% cotton is growing in other districts there. So this is the area production, productive cotton in India specifically. So that is in Maharashtra that we have to observe. In Marathwada region that we have to observe here. So district wise. So district-wise production in Marathwada specifically. In Marathwada, where our center is located, in Marathwada there is 8 districts are there. In these 8 districts, Aurangabad and Nanjera are the major cotton growing areas, having more area under plantation and production and productivity also more here. So what is status of mechanization of cotton harvesting in India? So why this project that we have to undertaken? We know that in the harvesting operation of cotton, almost the entire cotton production in India is hand-picked by human labor, spending about 0.9 man-hour per kg of cotton and costing almost 10 times than irrigation and 2 times the weeding cost there. The labor availability in India has been dropped from 70.3% of the population to 48.9% in 2010, and cost of picking cotton from the farm has increased to 10 to 12 kg per kg from rupees 4 in 2007 here. The cotton harvesting is the major problem faced by the farmers by using female or male laborers. And near about 30% cost of the cultivation of the cotton crop is required for harvesting of the cotton. That means 30% part of production is going for the harvesting only, and for the cultivation and for the planting, and so that 70 to 80% production cost is going for harvesting and plantation. Then only 20% production that we would get for the farmers here. So minimum 3 to 4 picking are required for total harvesting of the cotton, which is very time consuming and laborious activity. So nowadays in market, manually operated import cotton pickers are available, which are not suitable for large areas. And tractor operated cotton strippers are also available in market, which are not suited for small farms. As they strip the entire plant of the both of open and now open both with the whole plant. That means there are a number of disadvantages of this manually operated cotton pickers having capacity is less. So what are the different cotton harvesting methods that we have to observe here? That is manually operated cotton picking method, tractor operated, engine operated, and animal energy operated. So we have to classify these methods by using sources of energy there. In electric energy operated pickers, so generators, photovoltaic batteries operated, solar operated cotton pickers are there. The mechanical energy operated pickers are there. That is pneumatic pressure, then hydraulic pressure, and two-three wheels, gas engine operated pickers that we have to available in market. So this is a manual cotton harvesting that we have seen. This female labor harvest the cotton balls from the plant of the cotton. So in one day, not more than 15 to 20 kg cotton is harvested single labor. So that's why it required more cost of harvesting as compared to the machine methods there. So manual cotton harvesting is the very cost consuming and time consuming method there. So these are the some electric or battery operated cotton harvesters, engine operated cotton harvesters, which this model are available in market also. So tractor operated cotton harvesters. So in developed countries, we have seen the large machineries and large cotton harvesters are available in this market here. So before this, doing this fabrication of this machine or developing this machine, so we are conducting one survey to study the existing cotton harvesting, planting, and spacing of cotton used by the farmers in different districts in Marathwada region. So there are two types of farming practices for harvesting of cotton used by farmers. Amongst the 99% farmers use hand picking method for harvesting of BT cotton bolls there. And rest 1% farmers use a portable hand picking machine or tractor operated machines for harvesting of BT cotton bolls. So also it was observed that 22% farmers used 120 by 30 centimeter plant spacing for the cotton planting, and 27% farmers use 150 by 30 centimeter plant spacing for the cotton crop for the different districts of the Marathwada. So these are different spacing used by the farmers. According to that, we have to develop this cotton picking machine for the cotton spacing 120 by 30 centimeter and 150 by 30 centimeter land size. So already I told you that is a labor consuming operation, and farmers use the manual method of cotton harvesting, 1% use a portable hand picking machine. So because of unavailable laborers, the school children also coming in field for harvesting the cotton here, because cotton is coming at a time for harvesting in the month of November, December in the Maharashtra. At that time, so laborers are not available for harvesting the cotton. That way, school boys or school girls that are also used for harvesting the cotton here. That's why we have developed these cotton machines. So steps for development of cotton picking machines. So first we have to design and computer engineering analysis of the cotton picking machine, then fabrication of cotton picking machine, then its field performance evaluation, then ergotechnical evaluation of machine. For this, it is a drudgery measurement, and then the economic feasibility of machines that are so we have to calculate for the newly developed cotton picking machine. So the main parts of this picker, which are the main parts? Electric motor with impeller, inlet and outlet section hose pipe, then battery, then storage trolley, cotton ball collecting tank. These are the different components of this machine, main component of this machine. These all components that we have to install on one steel frame, and then we have to develop this machine. So before this fabricating this machine, Already I told you the design procedure and computational engineering analysis by using CAE software such as ANSYS 2020 that will be used for analysis of this machine, and then we have to design, first design and then fabricate there. The computer engineering analysis and drafting is done in workbench, and shift analysis in ANSYS Fluent module that also done. Then the CAD solid geometric solid models with details of each component, and finite meshing with loading and boundary conditions are assigned with different speed. Vacuum pressure are assigned for simulation cycle there. So this is the one view of different components of the machine that we have seen. The main frame. We have to install different components in this. We have seen there electrical control switch unit, lights, metallic suction pipe, flexible hose pipe, solar inverter having 2200 kilowatt capacity, then the cotton suction pump, then solar panels for charging of these batteries, then storage tank having 20 kg capacity, operation handles, front and rear side handle, batteries having two batteries having 12 volt and 100 ampere capacity, the suction spindle unit. These are the main components of this developed cotton machine that we have to observe. So already I told you, before designing any machine, different formulas are used in this cotton picking machine. This is suction pump is a very important component of this machine, and other are the stationary components which are designed and developed here. But this is the one movable components. On that components, the working of this machine is success. So the first thing in that machine is design of shaft, design of impeller by in this formula that we have to use here, design of hose pipe, then different pressure calculations that we have to consider for this machine, then design of cotton collection tank, volume of cotton collection tanks. So these parameters that we have to consider here, and these are the design calculations of this machine by considering some assumptions here. A normal cotton ball can be plucked by a pneumatic force of 3.5 Newton with discharge of 0.025 meter cube per second at a velocity of 12.73 meter per second. For to produce this force, we consider a standard 1.3 kilowatt power electric motor having IC engine, and its impeller speed is 20,000 RPM, and which is connected with impeller to produce required force that we have to observe some components there. So these are the calculations of this machine, design of impeller. So for the design, we have to consider the density of the cotton ball. Capacity of the machine is 15.5 kg per hour. Discharge of the machine is 0.035 meter cube per hour. So this is the design of impeller. This is standard pipe diameter that we have to calculate here. The suction diameter and outlet diameter of the pipe that we have to consider here. Outlet velocity of the impeller, outlet diameter of the impeller that is also calculated. Pressure calculations, 249 Pascal pressure that we have to required for the section of the cotton. The design of cotton collection tank, the volume of cotton hill tank, these formulas, the capacity is 16 kg here. And already I told you, after designing, we have to decide these are different the main components of the machine there. That is a electric DC motor with suction pump, suction inlet hose pipe, exhaust hose pipe, battery inverter, solar panels here. So this is the general view of the cotton picking machine. There are different components of the machine already I have to show you. These are the different components, drawings that we have developed: a steel frame, wheels, battery inverter, the suction pipe, exhaust pipe, suction pump, impeller, the solar panels, cotton storage tanks. So these are the different views of the machine. So in this machine, this is the one solid model of this machine. In this suction pump with the exhaust pump, the exhaust pipe that we have seen first figure. Then we see battery and inverter connections. So battery, having two batteries that we have to use, it having 24 volts and 100 amperes current that is developed by this battery. And then views, you see one water connection tank. And then front view, we see inverter and different connection with suction pipe there. So this is the Shea model, or Shea analysis of the suction pump with the design all components here. So first, already I told you, after new design, first we have to develop one solid model. After solid modeling, we do its meshing with different elements. Then simulation that we have to done by using different pressure calculations, and then first phase result, that means final model that we have to see here in this figure here. So in shear analysis of the suction pump with impeller at different speeds, that we have to done analysis for different speeds here, that is 15,000 RPM, 17,500 RPM, 20,000 RPM. For this RPM in analysis, we have to measure deformation of that impeller and casing body of the machine. I want to show video. Elastic strain of the machine, equivalent stress of the machine, shear stress of the machine for different and total deformation of the machine. For different RPM of this impeller, 50,000 RPM, 17,500 RPM, 20,000 RPM here. So in total deformation that we have to measure in a millimeter. You see here for different speeds and different pressures that we have to measure this deformation. See deformation of impeller for 15,000 RPM speed here. You see deformation. This is the impeller. Impeller deformation. It is minimum that we see here 0.27 and maximum 0.54 millimeter deformation. Blue color shows there is a no danger side for this impeller, shape side for design as working, and red color shows that it's a danger for working here, that will be any problem or braking will be there. In this you see for 50,000 RPM, then this is for 17,500 RPM speed. You see here deformations at a only at the right corner. A large red color that we have seen means there is a maximum deformation that we have to observe. Only 5 to 10% part of this impeller, and for deformation for 20,000 RPM here. Here also you see here. So this is only 5 to 10% deformation that we have to observe. Maximum deformation that we have to observe in this impeller. So that is a 20,000 RPM is safe for the design. Then we see elastic strain of the impeller. That is millimeter per millimeter that we have to observe here. In blue color means that is a safe for its working. It is a very safe for its different strains. In this also we see safe for the elastic strain. In 20,000 RPM also we see safe for the elastic strain. Then we see the equivalent stress of impeller and its casing body. So this is the elastic strain of impeller casing body having 17,500 RPM speed. Then you see a elastic strain of impeller casing body at 20,000 RPM speed. So you see here there is no red color. That means this is safe for the elastic strain at different RPM speed. Then you call stress that also observe for different pressures. In megapixel pressure that we have to observe, there is no red color. That means safe for its design and its fabrication. For 50,000 for 17,500 RPM, and then 20,000 RPM here. And I want to show some. And after this design, we have to fabricate. This machine in a workshop here. So I want to show some video. It's a stress video and strain video. Desktop folder है ना. हाँ. So पहले हाँ. शेयर कर ला. शेयर वाला भी ठीक है. चलो. Have you seen, sir? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So this is the.
Sir, we can. The video is not playing. We cannot see the video. We can just see the screen.
Okay. You cannot see video.
Yes, sir. We can't see the video.
Okay. Yes, I'm trying. I'm uploading. 1 minute. One minute, madam. Huh?
Yes, sir.
I want to share video. Video is on desktop. Share करो.
Sir, it's
Yes,
not
have you seen, madam?
no, sir, it's not playing. We just can't. We can't see it playing.
Not see. 1 minute, I'm trying, madam. Huh?
Yeah, sir. You can try.
अब आ गया?
No, sir.
नहीं दिख रहा.
सर इज इट पॉसिबल आप हमें वीडियोस भेज देना, हम पार्टिसिपेंट्स के साथ व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप्स में शेयर कर देंगे. अगर प्ले नहीं हो पा रहा है तो हम ऐसे भी कर सकते हैं.
Have you seen, madam?
Sir, it's playing now.
Your screen now. Okay.
Yes.
So this is the deformation of impeller that you see different in different colors. The color is going to change from blue to the red. Blue means is minimum deformation that we have to observe, and red means maximum. So that is safe for the all deformation pressures there. So this is the deformation for the 70,500 RPM. The deformation of the casing of the that impeller body that we have to see here also very less deformation and equal strain that we have to observe. Less strain that we have to observe in this video. Next, in this also equal elastic strain for 20,000 RPM speed of the impeller. It's also safe for its working. Then elastic strain that we have to observe in the impeller casing body. You see how color is going to change from blue to the red, but we don't observe red color in this casing body. That means it is safe for the different elastic strain. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, madam. Now my topic is over and open for discussion, madam.
Thank you, sir. It was indeed a very, very informative session. You have shown us very informative videos, and we have a few questions from the participants. So one of the participants has asked that in your presentation, you have mentioned that 99% of the farmers from a case study, 99% of the farmers pick cotton manually. So how we can motivate farmers to use cotton picking machines?
So we have to motivate the farmers by using. So we have to develop small portable machines for the farmers, which are easily work in a field. Because in cotton, in Maharashtra specifically, the cotton picking methods, that means planting methods, are different for the different variety of the crops here. But specifically for BT cotton, spacing of in 2 rows is very important here. Spacing is 150 by 30 centimeter. That means row to row distance is 150 centimeter, and the plant to plant is 30 centimeter. And minimum spacing, that is 90 centimeter by 90 centimeter. That means row to row 90 centimeter and plant to plant 90 centimeter. According to that, you have to develop the small portable machineries so that farmers can adapt easily. That's why we have developed this portable machinery, which is suitable for the farmers and suitable for the smaller marginal farmers also.
Okay, sir. Sir, another question is that do government or agriculture department provide any kind of assistance or subsidy for purchasing machineries to the farmers?
Yes, madam. In Maharashtra, those machines which are popularized and released by the government, they are given near about 50 to 75% subsidy for the popularized machineries.
Okay, sir. Sir, one of our participants want to know about the key research areas in agriculture engineering.
Already I told you in specifically in Maharashtra and India also, smaller marginal farmers are going to increasing because land size also going to decreasing there. That's why small machineries are very important. Instead of large machineries, small machineries which is easily handled by the farmers and easily purchased by the farmers in low cost. So small machinery development is very important here. So in that machinery specifically which is portable, it is major area in a research for the agriculture engineering.
Okay, sir. Sir, one of our participants want to know about the best agriculture engineering colleges in India.
One of the best college is myself, Vasantrao Naik Matroka Siddhapit, College of Agriculture and Technology. And another, according to my knowledge, Pantnagar, the best college. Then upon next to Pantnagar, Tamil Nadu Agriculture University College. Then Udaipur College. In Maharashtra, another PK Rahuri, Anna Sahib Shinde College. All colleges are best according to their performance and their research. Because in our college also, near about 35 ICAR students take admissions this year because of our standard of the education. That is very important, madam.
Okay, sir. Sir, another question which I want to ask personally, that we know that the machinery has improved and has helped the farmers so much, but nowadays the artificial intelligence, agri drones, agri robots, they are popularizing. So do you think that what is the scope of the agri robots? Like they can also pick the cotton, or they can also be used for harvesting like fruits like apples, mangoes. So how do you see it? What is the scope of these this technology?
Nowadays this agri drones, agri robots, and aging machinery is the new research areas, because this is a smart agriculture area. But in our India, specifically in India, requirement of these agri robots and drones is going to increasing in digital farming only in small areas like polyhouses, shade nets, where this high cost produce is used there. But for larger areas specifically, so we have to develop a big size of robots, because size of robots is now very small, capacity is very small. And in for spraying specifically, there is a need of sprayers. There is drones, by using drone spraying. So it's very important area for the development there.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Now we are done with the questions, and thank you so much for such an insightful session. I hope all the participants have gained a lot of knowledge from you. So thank you, sir. And thank you everyone for attending this very much successful 21 days online international training cum workshop program. So participants, now I would like to request you all to turn your cameras on so that we can take screenshots and keep these amazing moments in our memories forever. So please, for 1 to 2 minutes, kindly turn on your cameras, all of you. Kindly turn on your cameras, those who have not turned on the cameras. Guys, I can see you, you have not turned on the cameras. Okay, so thank you all for being so attentive and listening to me and turning on your cameras. We will cherish these memories forever, and I hope that we will see you soon in some other training or conference or anything. So I request all the participants to do not leave the WhatsApp groups, because all the information regarding your certificates will be given through the WhatsApp groups. And we all must have heard this simple rule, which is the beginning, the progress, and the end. Every good thing must come to an end. Likewise, today marks the last day of this 21 days international training program. And when we look back, it was all a dream for us to conduct such a revolutionary yet informative training program for all of you. But now we can proudly say that that the team Just Agriculture has made it possible and made it a huge hit. So here on this virtual podium, I would like to take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to our co-organizers and knowledge partners of this program, which are NAHEP, MPUT Udaipur, Maharana Pratap Horticulture University, Karnal, Professor Jayasankar, Telangana State Agriculture University, Hyderabad, Vidhan Chandra Krishi Vishwavidyalaya, West Bengal, Shulni University, Solan, Utkarsh PDKV, VNMKV, Prabhani, Al Hajjat University, Egypt, Anand Niketan College of Agriculture, Aurora, and Chandigarh University. And last but not the least, I would like to thank and congratulate Dr. DPS Badwal, organizing director of this training program, and Dr. Mohit Bhardwaj, coach director of this training program, members of the organizing committee, our technical team, and entire team of Just Agriculture and AEEFWS for working relentlessly to make this program a huge success. And thank you all for joining and making this program a huge hit, and have a great evening, everybody. So thank you all.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So,